Does it mean we're live with everybody, Kevin?
Does mean we're live.
I'm hitting the
I don't know, actually. Because, see, sometimes the lights are off and we're told the mics are off. Mm-hmm. And then when the lights go up, you assume everything's on.
I always assume lights up means live.
Yeah.
That is my assumption.
I was told.
I feel like I've said that a whole bunch, too.
Yes.
Yeah, but you said
that's
lights
why it's my
down,
assumption.
mic's hot. And it's not always true.
Maybe he means Mike, the guy, is hot. Mike Mahardy is coming in next week.
There is a transition period where I get the mics up, and then I hit the lives.
It's all right. Cool, Greg. I'm leaving the headline strapline in the dock.
He doesn't have access to that. I'll share it with him.
Yeah.
Is it in there, though?
Yeah, sorry. We're a little discombobulated today. What's up, everybody? I see DJ Kento, Mr. Yazman, Evan. Kebabs?
Kebabs.
It's kebabs.
Is it kebabs? Like
I used to say kebabs, yeah. And then I got corrected because it was like a kebab, right?
Okay.
Like
kebabs are good.
Kebabs are great.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the inspiration. You know, it's just a dumb name, though. I mean, it's so confusing.
Finish writing the description, Fran.
I'm messing with you. Sorry, I'm writing a strap line for today's Kind of Funny Games Daily.
Yeah. Yazman asked, is the weather
Imran,
cold because you guys are wearing jackets? It was kind of cold during Games Daily, so I'm like, I'm going to throw this on.
It's gotten a bit nipply.
Plus, I have, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
You heard me.
Plus, I have ice water.
I have spoken.
All right.
There it is. All right.
This is the way.
I'll probably take it off at some point during the show.
Yeah, I will. I'm just warming back up.
That's how you get the ratings.
Let me finish this. So
I'm tired, guys, you know?
Me too. I've never done one show immediately after the last show.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah. Now, because I usually take a break, I go to the mall, have some tea, whatever. Eat some lunch.
Fran, still writing the description.
You know what? And it's a darn good strapline, so I don't want to hear it. Imran and Fran talk potential Kojima, horror, cyberpunk, next gen, and the state of Stadia 4K. Now, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
That sounds...
Imran's a writer. He knows. It is extremely descriptive. That hurt me. You came back at me with that.
No, it's great.
Well, Fran, it's extremely descriptive.
Fran, it's workmanlike.
How do you like my review? Well, it's really descriptive.
Well, you made a good effort. There's a lot to talk about here.
Sorry, adjusting. So I need to find the run of show for today too.
I sent that to you already.
I know, but I'm searching my G drive. What's it called?
The what? The what?
I need the exact name of the Google Doc today. Third mic today, Kento, is Andy.
KFGD 11/25/2019.
No, for Gamescast.
For Gamescast? Gamescast run of show.
Oh. See if that helps.
Is there welcome to keep any of these boxes?
Can't find it.
Honestly, I might.
Good.
You're welcome to keep any. Oh, yeah. I'll just take them all.
You still need ad copies of that, right?
Yes.
Oh, my bad. I'll get that for you.
If it's just me riffing on this, it's not going to be a... I was going to say not going to be a long ad. That maybe it's going to be probably really bad.
Perfect. Be a hard read, not a long ad.
I assume I'm going to do this ad after we record?
Yes.
Okay. So, take these off the table for now.
I am... But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to see... Never mind. Thinking out loud, everybody. All right, so let's see. What's going on? What'd you do this weekend?
What did I do this week? I literally just played video games. I played Pokemon and Jedi the entire time.
Nice.
Also
because you're still finishing
Jedi
Fallen Order.
I also experimented with Thanksgiving side dishes because this is the first Thanksgiving where I have a full kitchen for myself. And I'm going to my brothers and sister-in-laws for Thanksgiving, so I want to bring a good side dish.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't want to bring because I made them a side dish of green bean casserole once and it sucked, but they were too nice to say it sucked. So this year I'm going to actually bring a good side dish. So I made some 3-cheese macaroni and cheese, which is really decadent.
Yes.
Maybe a little too cheesy.
What are the 3 cheeses?
It was Monterey Jack. Parmesan, not shelf stable, like the actual shredded Parmesan.
Yeah, like a real Parmigiano Reggiano.
Yeah, and sharp cheddar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
I think if I do it again, I will probably replace the sharp. No, I'll replace the Monterey Jack
with with something else.
With probably a pepper jack.
Oh, okay. You want something spicy still?
Yeah, just give it a little bit of kick.
Yeah, because Monterey Jack's got a little spice. It's pretty mild.
I used panko crumbs for the breading.
Nice.
Should not have done that. I should have used more traditional crumbs.
Oh, really?
Panko, it was too crunchy for what I wanted.
Oh, I like a good crunch though, but it just was too much, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
it like took away from the actual like taste.
That
of it.
actually, now that you say it, it makes sense. Like it was just, yeah, the mouthfeel of macaroni and cheese
Yes.
is important. One of the most famous dishes I made actually was for I don't know if it was Friendsgiving or I think it was like Christmas maybe, but it was me, Andrew Goldfarb, Greggy, and I feel like Jim Riley was there or something like that. Yeah, it was us, and we went over to Andrew Goldfarb's place, and I mean we didn't have to, but many years ago at IGN, and I don't know why, but I like decided I was gonna make a potato chip casserole thing. So it's actually like a potato. It's honestly, it was like, it was really good, but it was like,
Would you describe it as
the actual like ingredients and stuff right now make me kind of like, ugh. Like I love potato chips, but there was a lot. I think there was like some mayo and it was like creamy, but it was like basically potato casserole. But you put in literally like potato chips layers and on top, and you bake it. And they loved it. I'm pretty sure if Greg was here, he'd still swear by it. And I never made it again. But it's legendary, I think. But if you tweet it,
Are you afraid you'd mess it up if you did it again? Or?
No, it's a super easy thing to make. Like,
Imran,
Yeah.
yeah.
I sent
Tweet
you-
it, Greg and Goldfarb, for me
I
about
sent you
potato
the
chip
ad.
casserole.
the ad copies.
Okay.
See
Yeah.
what
I
they
saw
say.
it. I got it.
Cool. But yeah, that's after we're done recording.
We'll
just
sit down and
record
do
you,
those. Yeah. That sounds good.
I beat Control. I think you saw that or saw my.
Yeah.
I was on my
we'll,
way.
we'll do a little roundabout when Andy gets here and we start the actual show.
Yep.
But
If you have any like time code, like anything that you think will need time codes, could you write that in on the doc? Where
okay, we're right there.
yeah.
Let's see.
Just so it helps me to find what I'm listening for to take.
I'm
time
reading
codes.
chat, everybody, because they're just sorting stuff out. This is the pre-show this week,
Yeah.
What's up, C. Fran, Kevin Ace X, Adam Shirebeek, sorry. That was terrible. I butchered that name. Sheerbeek, probably. Is that a Dutch name? Corey Cudney, the GIF legend. How's it going? Mr. Yazman, Blackjack. It's all about the mouthfeel. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I love the term mouthfeel because it can be used for like sake tasting, but also I would say macaroni and cheese casserole.
It's a gross term because when someone says it, I think of like what food looks like in the mouth. Like the visual comes to mind of like chewed up, like masticated food.
No, gross. You ruined it for me. I
There
don't
we
think
go.
that at all.
There we go. Happy to ruin it.
I think because I originally, learned the term and think of the term as like more like, like something like sake or like a liquor or something, because it's got like a mouthfeel to it.
Something
it is
that
Dutch.
tastes
That's right.
smooth.
But yeah, anyway. And then I started using it for other food related things. So, but yeah, it's not gross to me at all. It's like a
So I think the reason I think
delicate, it's a tasty idea to me, but you just ruined it.
I think the reason I think that is because of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and they talk about one of the characters like rates for mouthfeel on pizza, and one of the
Really?
scenes he's like
Pizza is
he like
mouthfeel?
taking
Of
a
course.
bite and then like chewing it up and spitting it out. So like I think
What? Who does this?
it's Charles Boyle. You should watch
He
that show
spits out pizza after tasting it?
because he's tasting it. He's like
He's like
a
he doesn't
foodie.
want to get full.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
it's a comedy show. You should watch it. It's
Okay.
good. But
Yeah, like
that's why
making
I
fun of
associate
wine,
it.
sort of.
Yes.
Okay, it's a bit of a parody then.
Are you much of a wine guy?
Yeah. Oh, I love wine.
Yeah.
I love pretty much all alcohol. But I like
That's
good,
the thing an
I like good
alcoholic says,
alcohol.
Fran, but okay. Sure.
Yeah. It's a lush commentary. I'm not a tequila fan because I had a very bad IGN holiday party once. Very bad.
I would like to hear the story.
Oof. It was just a lot of tequila. I was young and dumb and just pounding tequila shots and partying, for free at an IGN party.
It
And,
happens, man. Sometimes you're waiting for your crew.
I
to
just
come.
had a lot and I turned into The Exorcist. And
Oh no.
I just, and in particular, like whatever I did that night, it was so bad that, tequila.
Yes.
I'm actually okay with it. Like I like margaritas and I like all alcohol, but it's not my favorite thing. Like if you want to take me out and give me a shot, and if tequila's the first thing, I'm always like, yeah, I guess, but I'm never like jumping at the opportunity. Have you ever had do you drink?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But have you ever had something that Yeah, I drink socially. You're like, what are you implying?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
That's an open question. Of like,
It is.
Do you drink? Yeah, at home when I'm
drink
playing.
heavily alone, like
I'm
by
sad.
the case.
Trying to forget.
You see the kind of fun.
I've seen some shit.
I see DJ Kento asking Fran to keep this story for KF podcast. Fran will not be on the KF podcast.
See, this is how they treat me, Kento.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to be on it?
No.
Okay, well there you go.
The way you said that, I was like,
don't act like
of
it's
course
us.
not.
Don't act like it's us. You're tired. You at that point you've done 2 shows.
Right. Oh, there's a show after this.
Yes, KF.
Well, I mean, if
podcast
you want to pay me.
in an hour from now. I mean, that's a question you have for the higher ups.
The higher up, the executive team. It's all right. Anyway, we're not going to talk about it on the Kind of Funny podcast because I'm never invited, apparently.
We just don't want you on that,
Yeah. No, I don't want to be on there with you.
Perfect. It matches up.
It's symbiotic relationship.
Just mutual
We
hatred.
both hate each other,
Yeah.
and it
No,
feeds
nobody
us.
said hatred.
Title again? For Game Taylor?
Oh, I put it in the doc, but it
I'll
was
slack it to
Kojima hints at horror game.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you still need it or?
No, I'm good.
All right.
You could go the extra mile. Metal Gear Solid creator hints. Metal Gear Solid Kojima. Metal Gear Solid creator Kojima
right.
How many
hints
words are we gonna
at
add to
horror
this?
game. Hey, SEO is important, everybody.
Just add
I would recommend. See, if I were to review my headline, see, I don't have to worry about that here. But if I'd probably change it to Metal Gear Solid creator Kojima hints at horror game.
that's enough.
You all know. I have no doubt. But like from an SEO perspective, you pick up a few extra views. Or Death Stranding is even hot right now. That actually Death Stranding creator. Yeah, I would actually say that.
Death Stranding is really
Death
hot
Stranding.
right
Hey, SEO is what I'm talking about. YTO, YSO, YouTube search optimization. Sorry, I got off on a thing there, Kevin. You know how it is.
I forgive you.
Yeah. Hey, that's how we met, and
now. Wait,
SEO.
what does this mean? That's how
and
we
then
met.
we worked together
Okay.
on SEO.
Yep.
Right,
I mean,
Kevin?
I feel like I knew you way before that. But yeah,
Probably.
sure.
That's my
Like,
most
we,
fun.
We met. I was a production assistant. I probably that's the first time we
Yeah,
met.
it's my most fond memory. It's SEO.
I have a lot of fond memories of working with you at IGN.
Yeah?
That was honestly I really enjoyed it.
That's good.
You know,
don't hear that often.
Nick didn't care about anything, so
No,
like
of
I'd
course
always have to go to you, and you were always.
See, Nick
doing-
was smart. Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like you gave me permission to do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
But like to get the permission, man, it was so much fun. Because remember, you used to do that thing where you'd walk away from people while they're talking to you.
Well, I was on the way to a meeting.
But like I'd follow you. And,
Yeah.
like, you did not understand how to handle it. Also,
No, it was-
I knew your hiding spots, so sometimes
I was not hiding.
sometimes
I was
people
working.
like wouldn't be able to find you, and it's like, oh, don't worry, I'll get an answer.
Yeah. We didn't have I didn't have an office or anything at IGN, but I'd have a lot of meetings and just like you try to go back to your desk and get stuff done, but that's when everybody's waiting for you, a staff
Right.
of 20 or 30 or whatever. Like sometimes it was like a line, and I'm like, I'd go like hide in a room somewhere.
And I knew
So I
which
guess
room
I would
to
hide
go.
now that I said it. But it was like just their open office. You could just
Yeah.
circle the office, but Kevin knew the ones that I used the most, so he could
You
find
know
me.
why?
Yeah.
Because I'd walk you to them.
Yeah, you would. I'd be like, I got to get some work done, and you're like, okay. And I'm like, that was my sign of like, please, like, can I just go do this? And he's like, yeah, but I just have some
Well,
questions.
I'm
like,
going to be honest. That's the best time to get your approval.
Well, it was the only time, or you wouldn't see me until like 5:30, right?
Because it was one of those things that, like, because you'd want it done, you'd be like, fine, just show me numbers afterwards.
Yeah. The accountability was always there.
Yeah.
Well, because I'd be like, what's the pitch? And then I'm like, okay, well, but then explain it to me more. He explained. I'm like, okay, well, what's the metric of success? All right, well, I want to see the doc afterward. Show me the numbers, right? He's like, yeah.
And I always had a doc ready to show
And he
you.
would do it.
Yeah.
But that was good practice, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
the
I felt like-
numbers, you can't. No one can.
That's
can
right, you
argue
can't
that
argue.
In
And that-
8 months, we grew something like 2 million subscribers on that channel. Real
Yeah.
proud
Yeah.
Of it. Real proud of it.
did awesome. IGN YouTube channel now over 10 million,
The-
11 million,
My boy's
maybe
still
12
keeping
million
it-
subscribers.
Keeping it alive.
Exactly.
Keeping it alive.
It always sucks, or not sucks, I should say, but it's one of those things that when you're creating video content for so long, it's very easy to fall into that trap of, well, how can we make this a series? How do we make 10 videos off this idea?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like, what if we just make a fucking one-off? Like, what if we just do one fun thing
Exactly.
and, like, that's it?
Just a I pretty much referred to those as features.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that the not problem, but like what happens there is that people like it and are asking for more of that kind of content. You know?
As an artist, you have to be able to say no.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
How's it going, Andy?
But as someone that's trying to make money, you
Hola.
gotta push.
Hola.
¿Cómo estamos?
Bien, bien. Muy
What's
bien.
estamos? Like everyone?
How are we
No.
doing?
We.
Yeah.
Yeah,
¿Cómo?
it's like
How
a
we-
He said, ¿Cómo estamos? How are we doing? Estamos.
Very little.
We are.
What are we drinking today, Andy?
Oh gosh, it's one of my little
Oh,
one of my
gosh.
little science mixtures, Kevin.
Oh,
Oh, no.
really?
Yeah.
It's got a little energy in there.
Yeah. So I
It's vodka, obviously.
I do I try to take my vitamins. I'm a pretty unhealthy person. But,
Yeah.
but in terms of what I eat. But in the morning I take a lot of vitamins, to try to
Yeah.
offset a lot of the
the damage
garbage
that was done.
Yeah. But as
fair.
of like a few months ago, I started doing this thing where I get a sugar-free energy drink, and I put a little bit of it inside of an Odwalla green machine juice. You
Oh,
know what I
boy.
mean? The half sugar.
Yeah. I don't like those.
Did anyone
the
ever-
sugar.
But
It is juice.
it's got some nutrients, right? It's not the most
Oh, it
unhealthy
totally
thing in the
does.
world.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
And then but then the sweetness of like the sugar-free energy drink, but then all the chemicals in that turn me superhuman.
they turn you superhuman. Yeah. All right.
You can't tell.
That's true.
We have a monitor for that. It's just something in the camera.
I just started terrifyingly experimenting with trying to eat a bunch more carbs. And I'll let you guys all know the results. But like, I don't know, like it's not like I'm overweight or anything, but I'm not like ripped or anything. And like, I go to the gym, but I'll eat like a sleeve of crackers all of a sudden. And
No,
so
don't
I
do
have my
that.
vices.
Don't do that.
But putting that aside, like,
I love doing that.
I've lived, probably for the better part of a decade, I don't know, carbs, man. Like, and then like I eat them later in the day, but then throughout the day, and then
I can confirm they're tasty.
carbs are
They're
amazing.
tasty.
You know?
Carbs are great.
But now, like, I have put together this little plan and try to take it more. But it's crazy to go from, like, try to not eat many to try to eat a lot. And it's actually liberating. But I think I'm realizing that carbs are so important for energy.
Yeah.
And we know this. But, like, we live in a narrative of, like, don't eat carbs, like sugar-free.
Right,
now,
sure.
sugar's crap. But, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
the idea of...
I'm diabetic, so I do try to avoid carbs.
Yeah.
It
Different.
fucks your energy so badly to like because you
To
can't
not
avoid them
have
all day.
carbs.
Because like so
Exactly.
I basically have to take some and then work them off during the day.
Yeah.
So I have to.
That's got to be really tough to... You got to... what carbs can you have?
I mean, I can
Like,
have
sugar's
carbs.
your...
I can have carbs. I just can't have too much.
Too much.
So
though.
like,
yeah,
like,
but
like there are parts of like, oh, this sandwich just has too much bread.
do
So
you know
I'm just gonna
how
take
much
off
you
a piece
can
of bread.
have, like in a meal?
I'm sure
or-
somebody at some point has told me.
It's a lie. Yeah. That information
the
is long
shots
gone.
ready.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And then Imran, real quick,
Hmm.
between phone calls,
Yes.
we don't really have a way of.
We're taking calls?
We're
Yes.
taking calls.
yeah,
Whoa!
it's a
Yeah.
call-in
Taking
show.
calls.
Holy shit.
Between phone calls, we don't really have a way of, rejecting calls. So like,
You're gonna
once,
get-
once you hang up, another call can sneak in.
Mm-hmm.
So you might want to take the phone off the hook, and just leave it on the dial tone,
Okay.
but not the speaker button, just the little.
Oh, to answer while we're answering, you're saying take it off the hook?
When we're like, yeah, let's say we're answering something, or if you just want to have an uninterrupted part of the show.
Someone else got
without
throw the fucking phone out the window.
Without the phone ringing.
So hang it up and turn it on and leave it on the dial
So
tone?
just hit this mute button, I guess.
I don't know if that works. I have no idea what that does. Yeah, because I can't hear. Right now it's off, so we can't hear it.
Where's the speaker on? Is this already on
Fine.
speaker?
Speaker on the bottom right, bottom left.
Oh, okay.
So when you guys get a phone call, hit that button. I already explained it to Imran. He's on top of it.
Yeah, see, mute, we would hear... What I'm saying, we're going to hear this, though. How do we turn that down?
Wait, is it on speaker right now?
Oh, it's here.
Also, don't have it on speaker when you have just the dial tone on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the solution.
Andy gets it, but it's okay. I just need.
Sorry, I'm
Imran.
trying to figure out this
No, but
weird
but you
old
don't-
school phone. Oh,
Fran,
all right.
Fran, I don't need you to figure out because Imran's in charge of
That's
the
like the phone that we had at Best Buy whenever people would call in. Chance Carter says sugar-free alcohol drinks are so much worse for you than real sugar, FYI. Yeah, okay. You read 4 articles that told you
Yeah,
that.
there's a
and I
lot
can
of, like,
point-
sting- yeah,
I can point you
that's
to
not
8
true.
more articles that say
Yeah.
the opposite, and then 4 more articles that like
Fucking
dispute
Ghetto!
that. That's all they do. That's all the science community does. They're just always in a
Absolutely.
tug of war.
I
man.
was gonna completely jump
all they
on that
fucking
like you
do.
did. It's like, yeah, you should drink high fructose corn syrup. It's not that bad for you. What?
Yeah.
Like by the way, they're both bad for you. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
But don't try to sell me on this idea that you should drink like a bunch of like crappy sugar. Sorry. I mean, Chance, your heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
And real sugar, but like frankly, real sugar, like you shouldn't have a lot of that. And a can of that is just awful for you.
Everything in moderation is fine.
There was a picture
Agree
on
with that.
Twitter of Yusef posing like shirtless. I was like, this just depresses me. Like,
Oh, same
just
here.
looking at this and knowing it exists makes
Same
me
here.
sad.
See,
Yeah.
he is very thin. I was starting to think on this new diet, I'm like, that boy needs some carbs though. And not like for fat, but I'm like, I wonder, because he hits the gym a ton.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
he's there
but
constantly.
But you need carbs to build muscle as well. And so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, like, just for comparison, I'm like, my mind, I always was thinking about like 50 to 100 carbs in a day. Like thinking, I wasn't really tracking. But then I sat down and I was like, I'm trying to get like almost 350, which is crazy.
His fiance Becky is like, I hate having to always have to match whatever he does. She's like, I hate going to the
Yeah.
gym. I hate working out, but he's always there. I'm like, I have to go too, I guess. Like, you know, don't want to lag behind.
That works.
Yeah, that's
Woo!
that's absurd.
Look at this. Look at
Just
this.
lean
That's an
out,
absurd
Thomas.
human being.
He's going to be
Good
very
looking human
happy.
being.
Oh, I guess the
Beautiful.
pre-show, it
Good
doesn't
looking.
matter.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Good God.
All
Let's
right.
look at that one more time. All right.
So that's what I'm hoping. I eat a bunch of carbs. And
Like,
then
It just looked
I'll
like that.
be
Straight
Yeah.
up, like in some of
Just
those
eat two
photos,
sandwiches.
The
That's
ones
what it
where
looked
he's
like.
not like
I am.
picking up his hands and doing a little symbol, a peace sign or whatever. There's one. They straight up kind of just look like he's at an NFL combine and he's like do the one where he's not flexing, where he's just standing there. This looks like an athlete at a pro event where they are
Yes.
trying out for scouts and stuff.
Brian,
Like, it's unbelievable.
if you want to take off your shirt, we could do this as the before. See what the
give me
progress is.
maybe like 6. No, I don't want
That
it
doesn't
before.
work at before,
I don't want
then.
it before show.
Pull
pull up Jabba the Hutt.
You were gonna say give me 6 months. I was gonna say let's go back to like 2012 or 20.
Or that as well. Yeah.
That
That's where-
2009 versus 2019.
That's where I lived in
image.
Austin, and I was poor as shit, so I barely ate a lot, but I was
Yeah.
playing basketball and football all the time.
Yeah.
And I was about straight up like 30 pounds lighter than I
Yeah.
am right now.
Burnt.
That's
That's
all
just
I
how it
did.
goes, man.
And Austin, we'd play out in the sun. And we'd go play basketball like at 2 p.m. We'd go throw passes at like noon.
Throw the old
And it's
pigskin
like
around.
110, 98,
Yeah.
12,
Just
you know?
sweating profusely.
Yeah.
Alright.
If you guys want to go into the actual show, just go ahead and start.
Yeah.
Make sure.
What's up?
I didn't get the. Do I need the doc up in front of me, or is my
You
phone
really
No.
don't.
for-
You
okay,
really
good.
don't.
We've never have, so
Okay, good.
You never will. You know what I
and
mean?
we're probably like
Well, it's
honestly
just
not going to
'cause
hear
since
this
the-
doc too closely.
But like, I just want to make sure I knew about the run of shit. There isn't much to it, is there?
No,
All right, then. I'm
they
just
did
gonna
not prepare
follow
us
you.
well for this at all.
Great.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey. That's what we do. There it is, Fran. You happy?
Oh, game of the decade? Yeah, see, I kind of need to know about that. All right. I would have been prepping on that.
It's one of those things we're not going to take seriously at all.
Yeah.
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 Is there a list that
Because
I
there
can
might
look
be
at?
no, there just might
Fran,
be a,
Fran, whatever comes to your head, that's
there might
it.
be a future show where possibly it's discussed a lot deeper.
Yes.
I'm sure.
But for right now, for the time being, we have a small squad.
Yeah.
We're playing.
Oh, I like it.
Small squad.
We're playing
Just need
injured
my
right
list.
now.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people in the IR, injured reserve. And also they're having a blast right now overseas, which is just fantastic for them.
Yeah.
Not jealous at all.
Yeah. Not jealous at
Small
all. Wish,
squad.
Not jealous.
don't wish that you got to go there at all. All right.
All right, let's go ahead and get this started.
Hold on for the train.
Wait for that train to pass.
Smart.
Go to the other train to pass. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever 249th episode of Gamescast. We're almost to a milestone here.
Oh, yeah.
Almost to another first ever.
249.5 coming at you soon.
And is anything special going to happen that day?
I have no
Probably
idea.
not. We'd never
Yeah.
plan that stuff. Let's get a cake.
Yeah, let's get a cake today.
I may not be here. I don't know.
Cake has carbs, right?
Eat it in my honor.
You may not be here next week. Wow, this is grim. What is happening?
I am your host today, Imran
In my
Khan.
honor. He's gonna die.
Joining me today is twitch.tv/fm3_. Fran Mirabella III, the best hair in the business.
Thank you. We've
How
moved
you-
off the wrist commentary. I'm glad.
That was a last week.
That was
thing.
last week.
Yeah,
We're over it.
we're all about the future here.
back to
at Kinda Funny
business.
Gamescast.
That's right.
We're also joining me today, Mr. Nitro Rifle himself, Andy Cortez.
The Twitch legend,
Locked and loaded,
Andy
baby.
Cortez.
That's what I've been working on. A little
Do
branding.
you not make like a cock sound? Like
Yeah, because it's like chakoo, chakoo, like two guns, right? And then two L's, locked and loaded.
So when you put 'em up,
Oh, I get it.
But
Yeah.
does it look right in the? Is it reversed or is it mirrored?
no,
that's right. That's a
yeah,
right
that's
letter.
right.
That's a correct letter L.
For a second, I just forgot how
It is.
L's looked like. So
Yeah,
I like it.
It's weird. Are your thumbs double jointed, by the way?
Don't.
Wait, which way does it go? Oh, it is that
Like,
way.
can your thumb do this?
That's weird.
What are we
See-
describing here?
You see how my like I can
It
make
bends
this
down.
I can make this L sign, but then with my thumb joint right here, I can go boop.
No, I can't
No.
do that. That's weird.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
That's a double. You got to watch the show.
Oh,
and
wait,
this is
maybe?
why.
Maybe we're discovering something.
Yeah.
I can't do it as much as you can. But
Yeah, it's
also
there,
I
it's
got
there.
fat
No,
hands,
stop
you know
it.
what I mean?
I have a few.
You're definitely double jointed.
I have a few friends.
Do it a little bit.
No
yeah.
A
such
buddy
thing
of
as
mine who's all his fingers are double jointed, so they end up making like little S curves. It's really
Oof.
gross looking.
I can't do that without actually causing myself pain.
What the fuck is up,
And
video
crack my
game
knuckles
players?
really easy.
Yeah.
How are we doing, video game players?
So the three of us today, we're hosting the Gamescast. They left us zero instruction while they are in London.
So we're
still?
gonna burn it down.
Yeah, we're the small squad.
We're gonna do a full playthrough right now of
Full
Crazy
playthrough.
Taxi.
Of the
Yes.
I was honestly
Dreamcast,
like, I was thinking
right?
like, what should we do for this podcast? Because I had no ideas. It was just us three. So I'm like, maybe we should play a game. Maybe we should play like every game of the year candidate.
Let's just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
you know what
That
I
seems like
mean.
a
But I like this. We're gonna.
It's gonna be a much more casual game. So why don't we start with what have we been playing since the last Gamescast, which is like 2 days ago?
Sure.
I know that I probably have the most to say because I haven't been on in a while.
Yeah.
I normally just come in to guest here and there. Last time I was on was the Fallen Order review. Has there
2
been
weeks
one
ago.
since then? There has been one.
We
Yeah.
we did one last week. We actually just did like another Fallen Order like commentary.
Gotcha.
We
Okay.
talked about some other stuff, but that was a big. Yeah, like a
Well, because
double
Imran
dose of
wasn't
Fallen
here.
Order.
Imran
Yeah.
was out of town. That's
Oh, and
right.
Pokemon was last week too.
Gotcha.
So, but Tim hadn't played it yet.
Gotcha.
So that was.
Well, I know he was saving it for the flight. I've been playing a lot of that Pokemon, and also since this is just to go back because I've had a lot of people follow up and ask me, Andy, did you ever beat Death Stranding? Yeah, I did. It took me about 73 hours, so I just want to quickly say
to me,
that.
almost exactly the same.
What'd you think of it?
I think it was good, not great. I do think I would have loved it, absolutely loved it, if it were, again, like we kept mentioning, if it were about 20, 30 hours shorter.
Right.
But a lot of that time was, kind of on me. But I think if
So
the
it's
game were
weird about
overall
it.
shorter, I think if the campaign was a little bit more condensed, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I still enjoyed it, though. I'm a sucker for that shit. I'm a sucker for the weird storytelling and the crazy cutscenes. And I was talking to Greg after I beat it, and I sat there and I was like, dude, the cutscenes kept on a-coming.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you know what? But here's the thing. I didn't want them to stop. I wanted to keep on watching. I just love how every cutscene looked. The sort of the acting was phenomenal. Tommy Earl Jenkins, his incredible performance
that
towards
one
the end of the
scene.
game. Yeah, like, but even then, I put out a stupid tweet the other day that I was like, Mads Mikkelsen will win an Oscar for Boards of- A lot of people were like talking shit over it. I was like, guys, obviously it's a fucking joke, but I think Mads Mikkelsen, like, his
was great in it,
performance
though.
in
Yes.
Yeah.
those bigger scenes towards the end where a lot more importance is kind of placed on his role in the overall
as things start
story.
to
I just thought
unravel.
he was fucking phenomenal. dude.
Right.
I thought he was really, really good.
I think the writing kind of let down the acting a little bit
Sure.
towards the end.
Sure.
Because like, it's not that it was
Yeah.
bad necessarily, but it was like you could be more subtle about. I wonder if
Yeah.
somebody told him, "Hey, no one's gonna get this. You need to be more explicit,"
Sure.
because he is very explicit about
yeah.
everything at the end of the game.
It reminds me. I've been rewatching a lot of My Hero Academia, and it reminds me. After playing a game like Death Stranding, and after watching My Hero Academia, which is just like any other anime, I could just say any anime really, but everything is super over explained, right?
Yes.
But the problem with this is that these are like AAA actors.
Yes.
It's like, hell yeah, we have to explain this superpower because it's blah blah blah. But in a video game, it's not that. It's very super serious acting.
Yeah.
And everything is like very method, and these guys are super in their characters. Where in an anime, it's kind of passable because it's just silly bullshit. But when you have people like Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen on screen, kind of doing this crazy monologue or whatever, and the over explanation is there of shit, it
Yeah.
kind of lessens it for sure.
I remember back when Star Wars was being filmed, Harrison Ford went up to George Lucas and he said, like, you can write this shit, but you can't say it. That's how I felt a lot towards the end of Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Of like, this probably looks great on paper, but saying I'm fragile but not that fragile 10 times, it's like, no, one was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One was way too much. But
Poke-
yes,
oh.
so those are my thoughts on Death Stranding. I enjoyed it. I think if I were to put an arbitrary number on it, again, we need to get away. I keep trying to put this into video game players' brains, right? A 5 out of 10. We need to stop thinking about it as high school and
Failure,
middle school
yeah.
and elementary school.
Oh yeah.
This isn't like
People are still
where
doing
a
that?
7 is passing and a 5 is a failure. No, for me, it's 0 to 10. It's 5 is mediocre, right in the middle, right smack dab in the middle. This isn't like where anything 6.9 nice, where anything 6.9 and under is a failure grade or whatever. So if 5
People
is
still do
mediocre,
this, huh?
yeah, people still absolutely. If 5 is mediocre and 10 is flawless masterpiece, I'd put this at like a 7.8 or an 8.
Yeah.
maybe.
I think for me,
I
it's probably
enjoyed it a
like-
lot.
For me, it's probably like closer to 7 or 6,
Yeah.
7. But like, I agree with you. That game is not without merit. It's just, there are parts of that experiment that are a little unnecessary or not entirely failures, but they don't succeed.
Sure.
And like, at the end of the day, would I recommend Death Stranding to people? That's a harder question, but it is a game I would want people to experience so I can talk about it with
Oh,
them.
for sure.
Yeah.
I have been kind of blown away because I was just expecting a lot more negativity on the internet, and it could just be circles. It could be the echo chamber where, if I mute a lot of people on Twitter, and that's just kind of for my own mental health.
Yes.
Where it's not that I don't care about your opinion. It's just that like if I see you constantly talking shit to somebody, or people in my circles, I probably don't want to see you on my feed pop up anymore, so I'll mute you. So it could just be that I only follow people that, like-minded individuals, all that nonsense. But I've seen a lot of positivity from people that I follow in the community that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Some people were like, yeah, this is kind of bullshit. But there have been several people that are just in the community, not necessarily in the industry, that bought the game and were like, fuck, I'm liking this. This is cool.
Yeah.
Or people that have even beat it and are like, fuck, that was really, really good. So I was a lot more surprised by that sort of aspect of it. I was expecting a lot more hate and vitriol. Now, did it, oh, we should talk about Game of the Year also. Like Game Awards.
Yeah.
Keeley's Game Awards.
Yeah, it's funny. I
Game
thought
Awards.
we'd be talking about that.
It's a great topic, Fran.
It is.
Why don't you write that down in your little document?
That's a different doc that I'm doing.
Anyway, that's how I feel about
But-
Death Stranding. Just want to talk about it.
You should talk about Pokemon, though.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on Pokemon.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about Pokemon.
How far are you into it?
I have 6 badges.
Okay.
The girl Marnie just got me. Spoil. I don't want to spoil anything, but she.
Yeah. So she got
also-
you into the 7th gym town.
Yes.
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 So I'm a little bit further than you. Right about where you are is where I think the game starts falling apart.
Oh really? Okay.
Like, there is... I played more last night. I finished the 8th gym. They really give up on the whole... This is a puzzle gym mentality. Like, literally, the gym you're at, it's a straight line with trainers. The 8th gym, not even a straight line. You literally walk into a room and 3 trainers approach you. That's it.
So okay. So that sort of methodology is kind of just thrown out.
Yeah,
the
they throw it
window.
away. It's like, I think maybe it's a budget thing or a rush thing, but they gave up on the gym thing hard at the end.
Did you beat it yet?
No, I'm
Okay.
heading towards the championship now. There is a big, like, side, or like, a story. So every Pokemon game, you've played Pokemon games before, right?
Here's my story with. Here's
Okay.
my past with Pokemon. I'm way more inexperienced than I thought I was, and I'll tell you why. I beat Red way back in the day, obviously. Beat Gold, and then I beat Yellow. Obviously, Yellow, Red, Blue,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Every Pokemon game since then, except for, I believe, Ruby Sapphire. No, because that was Gen 3, right?
Yeah.
Ruby
that was Gen
Sapphire.
3.
So Gen 4, I believe, is the one that I skipped entirely. But every generation since Gen 2, I've put maybe 5 to 10 hours in and gave up just because I lost interest. So, like Ruby Sapphire, I barely put any time into. X and Y, and I bought X, I bought Moon, I bought Black. Every game since then, I've just kind of barely put time into, given up on because I just lost interest.
Right.
And so that's my history with Pokemon. So a lot of these Pokemon are popping up.
You've never seen them before.
In this game, and I'm stoked about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I expected that. I totally expected that. But there are some Pokemon popping up, and I'm like, whoa, this dude's cool. Where's he from? And my chat room will tell me, dude, he's from Gen 2. I'm like, fuck, I played Gold. What are you talking about? Like, I don't remember that. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of Pokemon that I have zero knowledge on. And if I said that I was a casual fan, I feel like I'm even less than that now because I barely know shit about this goddamn franchise.
This one, like, so you know how in every game there's like there's a main story of something happening outside the gyms.
Oh, of course.
Like Team Rocket
Yeah,
or like
there's always an
Yeah.
overarching theme, yeah.
or Team Aqua and Magma and all that. This one, it seems like it's happening, but you're not really involved with it. Other characters are doing it, and they do it off screen.
Yeah.
So, like, literally, there was a time I saw Lee run off to go do something, and then maybe 5 minutes later, somebody shows me a picture on their phone of Lee having done it.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? Why was I not involved with this?
I would have loved to have been there.
Yeah, like, this would have been a fun thing for me to
Yeah.
get involved with. But I'm enjoying the game, even though I don't necessarily think it's a good Pokemon game. But I'm still, like, when people talk about Outer Worlds as comfort food, this is how I feel about Pokemon. It's like,
Yeah.
this is exactly what I want. It's just not it's the Barack Obama of video games.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
an incrementalist, it's genial, it's nice, doesn't do that much different, does a couple of bad things that we've all decided not to talk about.
Sure.
But otherwise, like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Let's scrub that from
Yeah.
history, right? I am enjoying the game a lot more than I thought I would, and I think a lot of that was because of what Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu did for me,
right.
where that brought in this sort of obviously new aesthetic to everything, and I wasn't necessarily expecting to even be into that sort of vibe or whatever, but the thing that I wish stayed from the Let's Go series, and I hope we get a Let's Go Gold or Silver in the future, is that I don't really want to battle wild Pokemon anymore. And I think I got super spoiled on that, and
Yeah.
I'm very casual in that sense where the changing of that mechanic really appealed to someone like me who just kind of wants to be in and out and get XP a little bit quicker and faster. I do think the XP gains are really generous
Yeah.
in this game where
sure.
your whole squad's just getting like I remember distinctly playing, red and gold and yellow, and your starter Pokemon would be a level 50 and everybody else is like 28, 31. But now, like, everybody's level 50 something because we're all getting a lot of XP, a lot of
there's
similar XP.
some XP inflation.
Yeah,
going on.
yeah, for sure. I'm enjoying it. I since day one, I've kind of been of the mind that I wish all the old Pokemon were gone, and I
Yes.
wish we only had newer Pokemon.
I'm
because
that same way. I don't
I-
want to use old Pokemon at all.
Yeah, like here's my sort of thinking with it. Like, if I want to change the foods that I eat, I'd rather not have those foods available to me at all.
Right.
And when I play newer Pokemon games, I want that comfort food. And I see a Growlithe, and I'm like, well, I got to take the Growlithe because I know that, I
Right.
know what that means. And I've always wanted these newer Pokemon games to get rid of the old ones. So I'm totally on the opposite side of the fans being mad that every Pokemon from the Dex is not in there.
Right. For me, it's I make a new team and I want to journey through that team and make a bond with them. And like these 6 Pokemon are like the Pokemon that I have bonded with through a game.
Yeah, for sure.
And like that was harder this time because like there's only 2 new grass types. Period. Because I expect you to just use older ones.
Gotcha.
So I'm like,
See,
well,
I didn't
yeah.
even know that. There's a lot of inner things about this game that I don't know about, and possibly those are probably where those are all the complaints are coming from. But when I'm playing this game, I'm always tempted to just use the old ones because I know that, and I know what they are, and I know what they do. And I've always just wanted to go into a new Pokemon game with brand new Pokemon and find what my new Arcanine is going to be.
Yeah.
Find my new fucking whatever, Charizard. I want to find that new replacement for it.
Yeah. You want to find your new faves.
Yeah, instead of being kind of stuck to the past, leave the past behind, Fran. Kill it if you have to.
That's it.
Is what Kylo
Thanks
Ren
for
said
including me in this
in The
Pokemon
Force
conversation.
Awakens. Yeah, you playing it too?
No, it's okay. I haven't had time yet. I'm way down.
I saw you even finishing that Control.
Yeah.
I finished up Control. Yeah.
Yeah.
How close were you to the end when you started last night?
I was really close. I didn't realize, but I was right there at the end, so it only took me like another 90 minutes or something.
Did you already do the silos part by the time you started?
Silos?
Like when you have to raise those thing. I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah, don't spoil
But
it.
it's a hard combat encounter.
Oh,
Which is
sorry.
not-
That's exactly what I was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That part's not fun.
Yeah, it was so 2 nights ago. Yeah, very close to the end. Yeah, I guess silos make sense to me now. But you're basically just in a really big tiered combat situation, and it was 2 a.m. You know, and I died a couple times, but I was like, well, I pretty much got this, but I don't want to frustrate myself. Plus, I want to enjoy the end. So yeah,
Yes.
I logged off and came back to it.
Well,
last
we'll
night.
see if you enjoy the end.
No, I did. I finished it.
Oh, you finished it.
So
Okay.
yeah.
I thought it just ended really weakly.
That game has no ending.
When-
Like,
when- it
I
ended,
definitely was.
I looked down at my phone, and I like opened up Instagram or something, and I looked back up, and the credits were rolling. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
it feels like DLC is supposed to pick up right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
they-
maybe that's the real ending.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I guess it's kind of. So no, I didn't like sort of the pace of how it ended. It left me wanting, but it also felt a little in that style of episodic TV of like, this is this season, and yeah. So I definitely wanted more, but you could. The first thing I said, I was like, oh, I can tell the scope of this game. You know, you could definitely tell that they. You know, we knew this about Control, that they developed it faster than they normally did at
Yeah.
Remedy.
Smaller budget.
Et cetera. But what an amazing job, and challenged them to, frankly, I think, do something they haven't done in a while and just crank out something really creative, took some risks, and I want more. But it definitely left me wanting more. I wish there was a big thing at the end, and there wasn't quite that.
It feels like Ashtray Maze should have ended that game. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was like that big
Again,
set piece
pace-wise,
moment.
for
Yes.
sure. So, like, Maze, and then I feel like I still could have used, like, a big boss battle type something.
There were those optional bosses, and they all were kind of bad.
Yeah, they weren't brilliant, but that's what I'm saying. I was waiting for, like, how do I bring this into,
big
like,
baddie.
a big
Yeah.
encounter.
Instead of just
thing.
big ads.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, big encounters with a lot of ads.
So
Really,
you- but the
sorry,
game's
I didn't
awesome.
mean to. I didn't mean to segue over to Control.
Yeah, I didn't mean to take you out of
Sorry.
it, by the way. I was just gonna say I've been quiet and looking at my laptop because I've only really played Pokemon Go and then Pokemon Let's Go recently somewhat, but I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan just for time reasons.
Yeah.
I know I do enjoy it, but yeah, I'm not playing this at all yet and don't know when I will.
I think it's a lot of fun,
Yes.
and I definitely am having a lot more fun with it than I thought I would. This was a game provided by Nintendo, by the way. Game was provided by Nintendo. But
saw that.
honestly, I probably would have
Yeah.
bought it anyway because last time I streamed Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, it was just fun, and there was like those kind of streamable, fun, memeable moments where something, if I don't catch one or if I'm kind of freaked out, but you know, it's good content, I think.
Right.
So I knew that I would be buying this anyway, but Tim approached me and was like, "Hey, do you plan on playing?" Well, they sent us Sword and Shield. I'm thinking Sword. You want Shield? So of course, yeah, I took it. And the Ponyta. Oh my gosh, Fran, let me tell you about this Ponyta. Beautiful, a beautiful thoroughbred. This
Oh.
horse, because you're playing in Galar. Are you aware that different? I don't know how
Regional
recently.
differences.
I don't know how recently this started. Was it
Last
Sun
gen,
and Moon?
yeah.
It was Sun and Moon. So they in Sun and Moon you're playing like in this sort of Pacific Islander sort of style place. What was it called?
It was. God, I
It was
knew
like
it was like-
Hawaii.
You know, you start off in Kanto and Gen 1, and then there's like Koen and all that shit. Or Hoenn, sorry. So Sun and Moon brought on
Alola.
Alola.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy because I actually thought it was Ponyta.
I always thought it was Ponyta too.
So, okay, well, that's what I thought it was.
Is it
too.
Ponyta?
Maybe it is Ponyta. That's what I've always said. But then I think chat
Oh.
was like,
I honestly
correcting
have
me.
no idea.
Anyway, so the last gen introduced.
Sorry, I brought it up.
The last gen introduced these Pokemon that are exclusive to those to this new world,
Right.
Called Alola, and you would get these Alolan exclusive Pokemon that look different.
Yeah.
They might be a different type. So
Like Alolan Raichu is a psychic type.
yeah,
Yeah.
And there was like an Alolan. The fucking tall dude with the big neck.
Execute.
Yeah,
Executor.
They give you different versions or whatever, and they are exclusive to those games, and they have a totally different look, a totally different fighting style. So this this game introduced Galar, which is basically a region based on the UK. You're kind of in an England type
Yeah.
country. Everybody says "oi." Everybody says
Oh,
Governor.
God,
Everybody says "jog on, mate." everybody does all that shit.
It's like
And
Australian
it's
style.
really heavy-handed.
Extremely heavy-handed.
It's extremely heavy. But look at this Ponyta.
Oh, it's just
Ponyta.
gorgeous.
Ponyta.
Ponyta.
This is someone
Ponyta.
really fucking loving My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it is
Like,
pretty much just My Little Pony. By
Look
the
at-
way,
look
but-
But
like-
she's also a unicorn, so it's like, come on, she gets extra points.
I know,
Yeah.
Kevin. And then when
cool.
she so in the old Pokemon games,
Look at him having fun.
in the old Pokemon games, Ponyta evolved to Rapidash. In this one, she evolves into. I already fucking forgot.
I've never evolved.
Is this
one, so I
like
don't know.
flaming?
No,
mane?
it's called
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
that
forgot what
it?
she's called.
Yeah.
No. That's
No?
a fake.
Okay,
That's
all
a
right,
fake.
well, that was disappointing because
concept
like
or whatever.
Pegasus.
What's the evolution? Come on.
A Galopa, like galloping
go.
or whatever. Look at that.
That is.
It's just like it's
That is so majestic.
So yeah, majestic.
It's insane. And whenever you ask her Galopa to do a move, she does like this fucking head
a
whip.
little hair.
And her
like-
beautiful mane just kind of flows. But
Ah,
yeah,
I
it's
love
like
that.
it's really cool. So Galar has some Pokemon that are exclusive to it. They have a Meowth, Fran. Let me talk about this Meowth.
Yeah?
It's a big ass
Meowth-
Maine Coon.
I do know
This-
Meow, thankfully.
from the front view. I had a little trouble saying that. right
Front
there.
view.
From the front view.
From the front view, this Meowth looks like a little chubby thing, right?
Yeah.
But then the
fat
camera
cat.
revolves around to the side. It's not the size of the cat. That's its beard. It has this
Oh.
crazy big beard. Look at this fucker.
Yeah.
Wait, is that
Well,
what
that's
it
what
is?
it
No, that's
evolves
the
into.
evolve.
All right,
Berserker.
hold on, sorry, give me one
Yeah,
second.
because I was like, that's not Meow.
The top ones, Kevin. Yeah, that one.
It's just so out of
Oh,
like,
shitty
focus.
images? Yeah.
Oh, this is Galarian.
There we go. That's
Meowth?
Galarian Meowth.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
so
I was like-
it looks like its body's kind of a big round thing, but from the back view, that's just only a beard. It still has a little tiny body.
Oh, I
It's a
see.
silly little vibe.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But anyway, it's cool, and I think they've. I do hate how heavy-handed the Britishness in this game is. It's
real British.
It was totally written by somebody who just has watched fucking
Downton
a Ricky
Abbey.
Gervais show before.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of jog-ons. There's a lot of They have you ever heard of this saying, Kevin? They said, "Oh, I wanted to do that, but I'm pants with that."
Yes.
Pants with it?
Like,
Or
oh, that's
pants with all that. Yeah.
I'm pants with all.
I've
that.
never heard that.
Exactly.
Is that a
Like,
good
what-
thing? Do we want to be pants with that?
It's like somebody just
You don't.
Googled UK-isms,
Got
you
it.
know?
Yes.
And it's like really, really kind of dumb in a lot of moments.
Such
really
an
bad.
American attitude, Andy.
I mean, it is. It totally is. Which, by the way, I've been having this issue on the internet, guys. I'm just
boy.
going to mention it really quickly.
One
'cause
of
I'm sure
many.
we'll dive into it more on the Kind of Funny
bet.
podcast later. But I've seen a couple of UK shows, right? And some people on those shows have pronounced the word controversy.
Interesting.
And
Is it
and
Gary
I,
Whitta?
and I
Should we
mean,
call
Like
Gary?
controversial, but
like controversy, but they say controversy. And I made this as a joke. And a lot of people came at me and were like, Andy, fucking nobody says it like that. And I was like, yeah, maybe you're right, but I could have sworn I heard it
Yeah.
somewhere.
I feel like I've heard that too.
And then I was watching a show recently where the dude said controversy. And I was like, fuck, maybe I'm right. And I talked about it on my stream last night. And then I get people coming at me. You guys, you know, Andy, you're wrong. Our friend Chloe is in the UK right now, filled in a room with a bunch of British people. And was like, nobody's ever said that in my ever. But then I Googled it, and on the Telegraph,
speak-
the Telegraph website, you know, you heard of them.
Yes.
They're from the UK.
Yes.
And they mentioned, yes, you know, I think this is like the American culture has changed controversy to controversy.
Oh, they think that's been changed. Well, remember, there are the dialects within there as
Exactly.
well. So, like, it
It's
might
the
be
elitist
some
way to put it.
portions of
Like
Britain that say
aluminium.
that.
yes.
You know? Anyway,
I like
video
that,
games.
that it's become a controversy of
Yeah.
how you pronounce controversy.
Controversial.
Controversy. Yeah.
I'll just be happy when we can stop spelling favorite without a U.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, my
I'm
favorite.
sorry, I just
My
can't do
favorite
it.
thing the other day, I had to
We
point
don't
this
do
out.
that here.
I had to point this out to Nick and Tim, who have since died.
Yeah.
But
to you guys.
we saw a tweet
Wow.
from Troy Baker, and Troy Baker said something along the lines of like, "This is my favorite thing," and he spelled favorite with a letter U. I was like, "Oh, that's the
Yo,
most Troy Baker
Troy.
thing in the world."
God dang it.
You know what I mean?
I
If
remember.
he did, yeah.
I remember getting into a drunk argument when I lived in England for a bit. I remember getting into a drunk argument with someone who was like yelling at me saying, "You guys spell armor actually wrong." And I'm like, I have no response to that because you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we do spell it wrong, but I'm not going to put a U in it for any reason.
Everybody knows.
I'm more open to that one.
People in the UK created armor, so they have the rights
Yes.
to it.
Also,
the right
color.
set.
But color,
They
I'm like,
created
colors works
armor.
better without
fuck
the
them. They're wrong about color.
They are.
The English language isn't derived from
They are.
anything else. Like, okay,
Um,
we're all wrong. Basically,
Anyway,
is what it
Pokemon's
is.
cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm definitely enjoying it. It's a fun little jaunt, and the animation's really
jaunt
cool.
with a U.
I'm really excited for the franchise to keep progressing.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see one day the look of it. I want the visual fidelity of like a Dragon Quest or
Yeah, like would Breath of the
or
Wild be?
Ni no Kuni,
Which is why it's
you
so
know?
disappointing, because like this is a game that exists on a console with Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah.
And Dragon Quest 11 looks so much better.
Yeah.
But like I'm still enjoying this game. I want them to take 2 years off or a year off at least and just make a better game.
Oh,
at the
they'll
end of it.
take 4. You gotta be careful.
Which I think is
they
fine.
probably
Yeah.
will. Yeah, but see, aren't they just gonna take the same engine and they'll make some quality of life improvements, but it's gonna look the same and it'll be instead of Sword and Shield, it's gonna be
This is
know.
a new engine for them, so presumably they're going to spend more time getting used to it.
Instead of
But
Sword and
that's
Shield,
my
it'll
point.
be
It's not
brick
going to
and
be.
mortar.
It will only be maybe a couple of years, but it's going to look the same, roughly speaking.
There's a lot you could do once you understand an engine better. Like holy
Yeah.
shit, the Wild Area Online. It is like the worst. I
I
don't know
just
how a
meant
game.
stylistically,
Oh yeah, but like
obviously.
performance-wise, if
Yeah,
you go
I-
online in the Wild Area, it runs like a
not so good.
bad PS2 game.
It is like, look, I'm not even trying to be angry video game guy right now.
Yeah.
But like, it's pretty fucking unacceptable.
Yes,
that
it should not have
Nintendo's
shipped that
online
way.
services still perform this way. Like
Yeah.
it's so these wild areas, Fran, they're kind of just a big wild open world, open roaming area.
It's where you can meet other players.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really do anything with them. Like they're not.
Yeah.
But they're around.
Yeah, they're around. And when you connect to the internet, it just straight up chugs as if you are on
Oh.
like DSL internet or something like
Weird.
that. It's
Just
really,
get all this like.
it's pretty
lagginess.
terrible. It's
Has anyone tried connecting to the internet with a USB dongle?
I have.
yes, I'm hardwired.
It's not better.
No.
I am always hardwired.
It's the netcode is just bad.
It's really, really
that's a
terrible.
shame.
That's what I was gonna say. It's just, they have no experience with it apparently.
But it's also
and-
not shocking
Very
when
little.
The first and only time I played Mario Maker 2 online, which was a couple months ago, I was like, okay, this is what I expected, because you know why? Smash Online fucking sucks too. And
Yeah.
when I would play that game with my chat, if one person in the game
Same as
has
Mario Kart.
mediocre internet, like it just
Drags
shits the
everybody
bed.
down.
Yeah, it's really disappointing, man. I don't understand. I don't understand why they don't put more of an emphasis when they know that's been their weakness for such a long time. You know,
It's the Nintendo way
it's bullshit.
because
man. And
it's
I want
going to
change.
sell
Yeah.
13 million copies. That's why. And they know it.
Their New Year's resolution. I was
We'll
gonna
get
say
to that
I was
later.
gonna say their New York resolution. Their New Year's resolution should be to improve their just everything online.
Yes, I would love that.
And my my New Year
That'll be the
resolution,
day.
I'm gonna go to the gym more, Fran.
Oh, nice.
To
And
improve
eat-
your
maybe eat more.
online.
yeah,
Yeah.
to perform. Yeah, to improve my net code.
That's it.
So I'm gonna check it. Jedi Fallen Order. I'm not finished yet. I've gotten a little bit further.
Yeah.
Last week when I talked about it, I was like, I'm not. This game is fine. I'm not really
Yeah,
feeling.
It wasn't clicking.
It is now clicked. One-
Awesome. We said this
Yeah.
on the show too. I said I think when you get farther.
Yes.
I thought I did anyway. And it sounds like it's starting to come to fruition.
Yeah,
You're pretty
once,
far now.
Once, because the game, a criticism I would give the game, it does not teach you how to play it well, so you can fall into a lot of bad habits with
Yep.
regard to like the fighting system.
Mm-hmm.
So like I commented on Twitter. There's an encounter with 3 fucking spiders and a slug. It's just
Right,
like,
right.
why am I here? Why this just feels awful. I was never countering those spiders. Cause like why?
Oh,
why?
yeah. You didn't
almost
even
everything is
try.
dodgeable.
Yeah,
So like I was playing it like a Souls game, which is dodge out of the way, strike, dodge out of the way, whatever.
yeah.
Once somebody on Twitter told me, actually just counter all the lunges, they die in one hit. Which also a little kind of bullshit because nothing else does that. But once I learned that, I was like, okay, well I should be parrying everything a lot more.
Yeah.
Which made the game a lot better. And then once I got like force pull and all that jazz and like the double jump, all of it made a lot more sense with me.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
start to feel more powerful, and yeah, you're more effective. Like I forget why the comment came up, but you did make. It was some kind of comment like that. You're like, I don't know. It felt like I don't know if you said flat or like there's something about it that it seemed more one dimensional to you or something. And I was like, oh, but that's because they want you to feel underpowered,
Right.
And when you earn that simple thing like the pull, it really you're like, holy cow. And that, to me, that's what it was. I think somebody was talking about maybe wanting everything like Control, or maybe that was it,
that's
right?
what-
And I just want to feel all the power at it. I was like, it's just such a different game. And I appreciate that. Control is really cool. You can't use your powers every second, but you use them a lot.
A lot more frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas in Fallen Order, it was very Metroid Prime, Metroidvania style, and just when you earn the next power, I thought it was so liberating and just like exciting. Elating was the word I was looking for. So it was like all the above. But man, when you get that next power, and especially towards the end, and you're almost actually at another interesting spot. You mentioned where you're at.
I got this one.
That one
yeah.
is going to be pretty cool too.
I got this one skill that like pulls everyone just around you. So like
Yeah.
And like combining that with the ability to change your lightsaber type
Right. The
with
switch.
a combo. It's like that is so fucking fun. Of like
Yeah.
doing that and immediately going double lightsaber and spinning it around you.
That's when it starts to feel cool, man.
Yeah.
When it throws it, you throw it around you.
Yeah.
and
It's
shit
like,
like that.
this is
when you switch between your normal lightsaber and the double, did you grab that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a
That
double
skill-
upgrade.
I love
skill.
that move.
That's like one
But-
of the best skills in the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a really good move.
Because you just start feeling so powerful switching between the two back and forth.
What difficulty are you playing on?
Jedi Master.
Okay, so
That's the sweet spot.
I
in my
wanted to
opinion.
clarify because when we did the review, I got the names mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hard, right?
That's
Like,
the
it's-
one up
if it's-
above
That's
like
3 out
If
of
it's
4.
easy, normal, hard, very hard,
Yeah.
you
It's-
played on hard.
It's
Okay.
story,
Yeah.
3, right?
Jedi Knight, Jedi Master, Jedi Grandmaster.
I went
Yeah.
one up from whatever the default was.
I had the names wrong. So
That's Jedi Knight is one up.
I played about 30% of the game on hard, and then
On
I dropped
Jedi
and then I
Master.
dropped to normal.
Jedi Knight.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jedi
Okay.
Knight. So I had the names wrong. So I talked,
I probably got the names mixed up too. I think I'm playing on Jedi Knight.
The one right up from story mode.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
That's Jedi
gotcha.
Knight.
Yep. See, that's the same thing happened to me. So I mentioned how some of the combat. Yeah, I do agree with you, Imran, that it doesn't. A lot of the encounters towards the end, a few of them towards the end, made it feel like a different game to me.
Yeah.
Because they are a lot more single person focused, and you have to really, really concentrate on parrying.
Yeah, the sister fights are amazing.
Yeah, and I think they're great, because you break their stamina and
So
you
cool.
see their stamina being dropped, and that's when they're vulnerable or whatever. But I mentioned that, and then somebody in the comments was like, well, yeah, that was a surprise to Andy because he mentioned that he played it on normal for 30%, and then he dropped to story mode for the rest of it. So in story mode, it's a lot of just hack and slash, and it feels easier. And I was like, oh, no, wait, I fucked up. I didn't play on story. I played on...
You played on hard
I
and
went
then
from
dropped to
hard
normal.
to normal.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's still, fairly challenging in some moments, but I do think that throughout a lot of the early parts of the game, it felt like I was playing a different video game towards the end with some of the different encounters. It just felt a little bit different to me. So I just wanted to clarify that I didn't go from normal to easy. I went from hard to normal.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's so cool finding these enemies you feared at one point. Like when I went back to Dothamir, whatever, and fought like the Night Brother, it's like these guys kicked my ass at first, and now I'm literally throwing them away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than, and I think a lot of it goes into the satisfaction I get from when I play Overwatch and I'm Roadhog and I pull somebody into
totally.
off the ledge, or if I'm Lucio and I boop somebody off the ledge and I kill him. I love the feeling of
Force pushing.
I
someone
see
off.
3 people. I'm like, I'm gonna position myself where I can only just force push you because it's really cool and it feels good.
Yeah.
Instant kill.
I fucking love doing that to Purge Troopers that are always like these huge badasses, like fight me.
Yeah.
I'm like boop.
Yep. I saw, was it Lucy O'Brien or Lucy James or something? But one of them had just, what are the little, they're like R2-D2 style droids, whatever those are called.
Yeah, the little...
The Imperial
They're,
ones.
yeah, the Imperial.
black ones, right?
Yeah, they're black. But somebody was just at a ledge, and I don't know if it was the first time they ever did it. It seemed like it, but they were like, oh, what are you doing here? And they were like, boop, and it goes, and you hear like that fading, classic sound. I was like, that is so hilarious. Like they just nailed like the sound effect that made it such a payoff. And I never did that in the game. There's a lot of little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, once I got force pull, I was using it a decent amount, but then I didn't realize it was so powerful. because it does take up a lot of your force. You just pull them in and you're like, and you just stab them to death. And it's a move. And
Yeah.
you can do that on so many
Some
things.
will get away from you if you try to do it.
Some, if they're powerful. And actually, like one of the enemies in the game, or several, but there's the one with the spear, and you try to pull it, and if you never tried it, you would never notice this, but it puts its spear in the ground, and it stops itself, and it's like, it's scraping on the ground as you try to pull it towards
and if
you.
you still pull him towards you, like he'll like attack you as he's coming
Yeah,
towards you.
it's
and
so,
like, whoa.
all these little touches.
Or like slugs can't be pushed or pulled because they're just stuck to
they're
the ground.
slugs, I guess, yeah.
The
It's cool once everything comes together.
Yeah.
And so
I do think there's a lot more, based on my fighting style and based on what I've seen on the internet. The combat goes a lot deeper than I initially thought, similar to when I played God of War, and that was showcased by the Twitter account. I'm trying to find it. The one the dude that always
Sunni Legend.
yeah Shuni Legend. He gifted out a really awesome one where he pushed the stormtrooper or whatever the hell it was. I think it might have been the
Purge Trooper?
The Purge Trooper.
Yeah.
Pushed it off the ledge, and it was about to fall off, and then he pulled him back and did the stab. So like the guy was gonna fall off.
he
had he not
baited
done
him.
he pushed him off, pulled him back, and stabbed him. And I think
That's hilarious.
It is kind of funny you're a Jedi and it's like you're probably one of the worst mass murderers in the universe.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
for
they're
sure.
all bad people and slugs.
It's fine. All right.
They're dark side slugs.
I'm going to combine these next two segments. So, Andy, you wanted to talk a little bit about what our game of the decade is. Not kind of funny necessarily, just ours.
Yeah.
I also want to do that, but I'm going to take in calls from the or people as well.
Yeah, we should do the calls because
Let's do calls.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm looking for this gift because I really want to.
we're
Yeah, please send it to.
Yeah.
are we an hour into the show already, Kev?
Well, there's
We did
the
a pre-show.
That was with
yeah,
pre-show,
So
sorry.
there's 40 minutes, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
do you want me to put the number up?
yeah, go ahead and put the
Are
number
there
up.
any rules you want to put up before I do this?
I will hang up on you if I don't like what you're saying.
Sure.
Wow.
He's
And you will get
like
edited
super
out.
fast.
Yeah.
It's intense. I'm sure the first call will go smoothly.
You will get edited out, and nobody will hear from you ever.
Yeah. Don't leave voicemails. We won't hear them. So if you get in, great. Otherwise, we're here to talk about our game of the decades.
Studio phone number is up right beneath you. You guys can't see it, but it's there.
Oh,
Cool.
I see it on your end, Kevin.
Oh, all right, cool.
That ruined my plan
Give
to
us a
call in
call.
ourselves.
Let us ask us anything.
Oh, were you planning on calling the
Man, game of the
number on
day-
your own?
Well, it was going to be a joke, but
Yeah.
now I can't.
Game of the decade. It's funny because there's so
Breath of the Wild.
much stuff, but yeah, there's some obvious ones. Yeah, Breath of the Wild. I think it would be. on
Because I saw you
everybody's list.
glancing at Polygon's list, which is a list I'm not sure I agree
Yeah.
with in a lot
I
of
went
ways.
through a bunch. Yeah, Giant Bombs. I went through somebody called Paste Magazine. I've never heard
used to
of
write
them,
there.
actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, send it to you, Kevin.
There's so much stuff and when you said personal, it's a good way to put it because I'm like, oh dang, that's right, Minecraft came out within the decade. I'm like, if I was like critically ranking stuff, it'd be on there. My personal list, I'm like, I just didn't get into Minecraft, so it's not on my list. It would be had I played it.
Here's
That
this
makes
gift
sense.
really quick.
Hold on. I'm gonna wait for it to restart. Oh, and we got a call.
It's okay. We can still watch the GIF in the meantime.
Howdy. You're on
so
Kind of Funny.
That's the
That's so rad.
Is this
Oh,
Bob?
kebabs.
Oh, kebabs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you said personal, it's a good way to put it.
And also,
Wait.
please lower your volume in the background.
Okay.
Just like a
Wait,
radio
I'm
show.
actually on the air.
Yep, you're on.
Holy crap. I thought I'd have more time to think about it.
Oh, son of a bitch. Hang up on him.
No, I'm gonna let it go. Let's
Oh, it's
My
funny. I
personal
heard
game of the decade would probably be Spider-Man.
Game of the decade is Spider-Man. I can agree with that. Or not necessarily agree with it. I can see it. I can see the argument for it.
yeah.
Well,
he's
everyone
not gonna
knows-
hang up on you.
Well, everyone knows that the winner will be Breath of the Wild. But mine is Spider-Man.
I don't know. I think there's some.
Well, like most people would probably expect me to say God of War, but Spider-Man is actually the one that made me cry at the end, not God of War.
No spoilers.
I don't remember how
That's
Spider-Man
what I'm
ends,
calling that.
so I'm not sure I cried.
Spider-Man has that really cool story beat that did kind of hit me emotionally, but for the 7 hours prior to that, where I'm just kind of endlessly fighting mobs, and it's like I just want to get to the big story beat whenever that does come. So, but I could totally see an argument for Spider-Man. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Game of the decade.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Thank
cool.
you for your call, Kebabs.
You're welcome.
Oh.
All right.
I'll go.
Wow, just
Sorry,
like
Klaus.
that. You can always call back.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so-
just to say
Trying to
bye.
get in.
So
Is
mine is definitely God of War. I mean, if you've ever heard me talk on any game show, I think God of War for me. See, we're gonna run into this problem.
It's okay.
All right, I told you guys to take the phone off the hook.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna let him talk. We don't necessarily need to hear from him. Hey, what's up?
Is that a speaker?
You're on the Kind of Funny Gamescast.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, can you guys hear me? This is the nanobiologist.
Hey, nanobiologist.
We can hear you perfectly.
Hey, guys. Good to talk to you all.
Indeed.
I am in my room sick at Disney World right now.
Oh.
It's a good
Sorry to hear
excuse to talk to you guys today.
Bad funnel cakes.
Yeah.
So, my question is, every year or generation, there's one gimmick feature that every game has or tries to shoehorn in. What is one feature that you loved and one that you hated
No,
that
that's not how this
one
works.
every year had? Like, this year is just
Good
bad
question.
marketing decisions would be one.
All right. What? So his question was, what's one gimmick you liked and one you hated?
Got it. All right. Thank you for your call, nanobiologist.
All right, Fran, I want you to
Is that how this works?
take this off the hook.
Okay.
I want
great.
because you did all the studying.
You studied the technology.
All right,
Yes.
see you later.
Great. That's a great question, nanobiologist.
No one said bye to him.
Yeah, I just did.
He's watching on
I
stream.
just did, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin, I listen to a lot of Lebitard show,
Oh,
right? I know
sorry,
how they
I
deal
just
with
hung up on
callers.
someone. Okay,
It's fine.
it's off the hook.
It's
Yeah.
off the hook. All right.
All right.
A gimmick that we liked and a gimmick that we hated. I'd say I probably hated rocking the baby to sleep in Death Stranding.
Oh, that was not great.
Yeah.
I shook that baby more than I wanted to.
Especially in rougher, tense moments. It especially ratcheted up the intensity of moments where I'm just like, oh, I'm already kind of, I'm feeling my back muscles really tense right now, and I just need to, you need to just shut the fuck up, baby, you know?
I
Sorry, I was making sure that was off the hook. What was the? There was someone on the
Rocking
line, by
the
the way.
ba-
I apologize.
Rocking the baby in Death Stranding.
It's fine. This is
Okay.
not a thing that we're caring
Yeah.
all that much about.
But and that's something that was shoehorned in just to that game. You think?
I think so.
Like the control, using the controller.
Just the whole, I mean,
like you could use triggers if you wanted, but
not even necessarily the how you did it. It was
Just
the
having
why
to.
and the having it. Like I think it was neat at first, but then towards the end of a 73-hour journey,
to have to stop and like get your baby to be quiet.
Yeah.
Which I agree. Like the relationship was cool, and it developed that relationship that you actually had to care enough to stop it from crying, and that was
Yeah.
the message.
Yeah.
Debatable. I think the way the game is, like, I think it's fine. You know, there's so much weird stuff in the game.
I mean, speaking of God of War, which we'll get back to in a second, I don't think I really dug the camera is always behind you thing. Like,
Oh,
it was a very cool idea. That was like, I'm amazed they executed it so well, but it also kind of made me motion sick.
oh really?
Of like
Okay.
when certain things would happen where it does adjust the camera and just Kratos very fast,
Zip
where you're
forward.
turning very fast. Like, okay, this is a little too blurry for me right now. Like, if I focus on Kratos as the focal point, then it's fine.
Sure,
If I'm looking
yeah.
at the rest of the screen, I start getting a little like.
It's like if
queasy.
you spin around in a circle in a chair, but you just look at your finger the whole time, you should probably be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that. I think the always on camera, the no cuts stuff in God of War is like probably the most perfectly executed thing
Yes.
I've ever experienced in a game where they had their vision, they stuck to it, and I think it was all for the better.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just making sure. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, and
anymore, but
you could see that we're like the seconds are counting.
they are. But last time somebody was on the line.
Oh,
now
really?
it's just dead. But that's
Nah,
fine.
we would have heard him.
Can I chime in?
Of course, Kevin.
I've got two of them. I wanted to look at games that were a little bit older.
Go for it.
Of the decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We're still going
Not
back
too
to
much
that.
older. I just went last year.
Oh,
But,
We'll go back to
um,
God of War.
And
After
then are
this
we
one.
taking
But
another
I-
question
so I-
after this?
After the God of War?
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I have two of them for last year, which Red Dead Redemption, the realism, where it was like a little bit, it was too much. Where like
Red Dead 2?
Yeah, Red Dead 2, where it's just like I didn't find it fun.
I don't want to have to eat.
Right, I don't want to have to worry about like my horse gonna trip on this and die, and then I have to lose a horse and get
Oh,
another
man.
one. It was too much.
Like, can you
enjoyed
imagine if it got to the point where your character woke up with like your knee was hurting and like your character couldn't
Yeah.
walk correctly for that day?
And it's one of those things where, like, in Breath of the Wild, when your horses die, it's cool to like be able to go to a place and bring them back.
Horse heaven.
Yeah, 'cause- right, exactly. And then the other one that I wanted to talk about was Monster Hunter. The playing multiplayer.
Yeah,
and-
multiplayer in that game is really not great.
Monster Hunter
hold
World, I
on,
assume?
slow down. I actually love playing.
No,
with other
okay. I
people.
mean, playing with a friend through the story.
Yes, and it was like the having to watch the videos and like waiting for the other person to finish and then be able to join your group. It was all a bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
You could tell that was probably something that they hadn't fully tested out. And then when the day got there, they're like, "Oh, this is probably going to be a problem. This whole cutscene thing."
Because it was a thing in other Monster Hunter games where you would be in the same hunt and you just all watch the same cutscene.
Yeah.
And I guess there was probably maybe some like netcode glitch or something that was causing issues. It's like, all right, screw it, we can't fix it. Let's just work on it.
Probably lower on the. That's more of a convenience thing and less of a. This is going to severely ruin the game thing, you know.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, I saw a tweet recently about just game development in general, where it was like, guys, I hate that I have to remind everybody of this, but we don't purposely put bugs in games. We don't, you know, like
we also care about the game.
Games have issues and stuff like that, and when you, at the end of the day, there is a budget, and if a small quality of life thing sucks, but there's a bigger issue, the bigger issue is always going to get fixed first.
Right.
So the smaller things that may just kind of be little nuisances and annoying every once in a while, those always get pushed down to the priority list because the bigger issues always get covered first, because that's just how companies work, and that's how budgets work.
Yeah,
and shit
known
like that.
shippable is the term that people use in QA
Yes.
of like, we know this is here, but we can't really fix it. We don't have the time or money.
Exactly.
And
Maybe
then,
in the day one patch.
One more that I want to bring to attention, that is the Division 1.
Yeah.
The scaling was terrible.
Mm.
That being said, I feel like what is the
Borderlands?
Borderlands, thank you. The
Great
scaling is
scaling.
great.
Yes.
They've fucking nailed it. Good on them.
That is
Great
by far
scaling.
like the best new addition to Borderlands in 3.
Just being able to hop in and play with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy, tell me a bit more about God of War.
Yeah, I just think it's a game that did everything perfect for me. Or next to near perfect. Where a lot of other games that I've definitely enjoyed, there have always been weaker spots to it, but I think it did everything for me in terms of telling I thought a beautiful story with awesome character moments.
Yeah.
And learning and growing to care about these two characters that you're walking with the whole time. And even other side characters that you didn't necessarily think you would fall in love with. I think it just did a great job with narrative. But I've talked about this before. The Last of Us and Uncharted are some of my favorite games, mostly because of their narrative. But I didn't necessarily love playing them. They never felt great to me. The Last of Us, it's really, really stressful. And like it's not like the super fun combat to me, at least. So playing those games, I normally just go from cutscene to cutscene. I want to get to the next story beat. I want to get to the next part. There's definitely a lot of strategy in there and sneaking around for clickers and things like that. But with God of War, that style of combat is such my jam.
Yeah.
And I didn't care about getting to the next cutscene necessarily, even though I loved the story. But the moments of exploration and the open worldness of it, to a degree, I think is just so masterfully done.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few games that when I beat a game, I rarely go back to it, but it's one of the few games that I went back to go, continue to try to take down the Valkyries and all that stuff. I just thought everything in terms of execution with direction and acting and characters and story and combat, everything was so like superbly done to me.
Yep.
See, like speaking of the writing, it was amazing to me that they made me care about Kratos, a character I genuinely did not like in previous games. Like I didn't like God of War games before this, honestly.
Yeah.
Like Kratos himself seemed like he was like the teenager's idea of what a video game protagonist is supposed to be, which I mean a lot of us are
That's one
teenagers,
reason
but-
why I never liked Gears of War.
Yeah.
The
broy.
the big muscly bro dude that I was like, I can't connect with this guy. I don't give a shit really
Yeah.
about this franchise.
Kratos was a weird psychopath, and that was the game. Was that he was an angry guy that was literally ripping wings off Icarus, and he was like getting into threesomes in a bathtub. I was like, that's not appealing to me. But then I played through God of War, the new one, and I was like, oh, there's like depth to this character that the writers understood that it was important for Kratos to understand that the old Kratos was bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he himself has remorse about that life.
Yeah.
So he moved on, and he's become a stronger, better person because of it. And I think that's what really attracted me to the game. It's like, okay, they get it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a game for people like me who didn't like that style of writing before.
Yeah, I just think about going back and reliving those big set piece moments.
Yeah.
You know, when you're taking down that giant dragon. I already forget the name, but it's one of the giant fights where just the way the cutscenes were interwoven with combat, and it's always the no cut camera thing, which is just super impressive to me. That's whenever you pull off gimmicks like that, it's such an easy way for me to be like, whoa, this is something that I could share with people that are not really into games and just show them this, you know. My mind immediately goes back to, I think, like that the end of that one True Detective episode where it was like a 9-minute no cut scene, and like shit like that, little gimmicks like that
like
are
Children of Men. Or,
I think really impressive things to pull off. But yeah, that one dragon fight where you're taking it down, you end up sliding down, and then like Kratos lands and the dragon falls behind you, and its mouth is open, and you're kind of in the opening of where the mouth would be. And just things that they made everything so grand, you know, that there's that one area with the dead giant in the ground that it's so cool whenever you see things of scale put to such a good use.
Yeah. It reminds you you're still tiny in a world of like literal giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that masterful is the word for that game. Yeah, it's almost certainly my game of the decade. It's just like you said, my jam. I love all of those elements, but it does everything so well. And you don't see many games that are able to, not only just take an idea like, oh, it's going to be a no-cut camera that follows you the whole time. Like, okay, cool. Like, what's that mean for the gameplay? As it turns out, it does make it very intimate and interesting, and you're following him through the whole story. But anyway, the RPG elements, the combat, the way you can fight is, you can change up your combat so much. But then the sense of exploration, which I always love in games, I think that's what you guys probably hear the most from me is I always like the journey of discovery and then that feeling of power you get. And that is, for me, why I play games and why I got hooked on them in the first place, and why, Zelda, when you first get the sword and then you get the bomb, and that's always appealed to me. And it takes all of those classic things, but it just does everything so masterfully. And like boss fights as well. Like boss fights are so hard to do, but I don't remember ever encountering like a boss and feeling like, wow, that boss was like, like it would be easy to be like, oh,
there's not a whole lot of bosses. There was a couple of times in that game where I was
enemies.
But I mean, like,
just like the ogres, I feel like a boss.
Particularly, God, what was the place called?
Named ogres, right?
Hades, where you're just like, oh, this is just the ogre again.
Yeah, that's the only drawback that I have for this game, and it's such a minor complaint for me. But I do think that if there was more enemy variety, that it would be be a 15 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
When really it's just a 13 out of 10 for me, right?
Exactly. That's
it starts so strong with the battle against a stranger, and it sets a tone of like, oh, these boss fights are going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And there's like a couple of those that are still like the dragon you mentioned.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I was like, I could have done fewer ogres in general.
Yeah, but the combat, there are quite a bit of different enemies, and even if there's iterations on them, like meaning
That's what I mean, just iterations.
Yeah, you do get into a lot
of them are color
combat.
swaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there was that one cave, I guess, that was like it had two giants or two ogres, and they're just like differently colored.
Sure.
Like, okay.
You get into. I really enjoyed fighting them actually, though, and I feel like
the Valkyries. I think they should have replaced not made the Valkyries optional. They should have been part of the
put
main
them
story.
in the middle of it.
Yeah.
To go back to Kebab's recommendation
anyway,
or selection, I think I think Breath of the Wild is totally it should be on that list somewhere at least. It's a close one for me as well.
Definitely.
And with how God of War was so good with its no-cut camera. The gimmick for me in Breath of the Wild that really shines is its systems. And I think it's an engineering fucking like masterpiece where how every system is interwoven, how if it rains, it puts out the fire. If it's hot outside and you pull out the fire arrow, you explode. If you're near water, you shoot electricity. Like everything works the way
all the physics.
Everything is just so logical in that game. And to me, again, I was only in game development for like 3 years, but when I was in it, like the amount of work that I know went into developing all these systems to work with against and for each other
Yeah.
it's a fucking achievement.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day about a time like I was lost in the storm, Breath of the Wild, and like I got surrounded by those drone guardians, the ones that like fly around. I was like, I can't do this right now. I'm gonna have to either run or like fight my way out, and I got cornered. So what I ended up doing is I threw one of my swords because it was like a thunderstorm, so like it was going to hit me anyway, like the lightning if I had that sword out.
Yeah, like you couldn't keep it on you anyway.
Yeah, so I took the magnet, pushed that sword against the drones, and just let the lightning strike them.
Oh wow.
And I was like,
Oh, wow.
I can't fucking believe that worked, but it got my way out of it. Yeah.
That's really cool.
All right.
Yeah. It is amazing like how differently you can play that game.
It's also like
So you got to hang it up to take another call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that there's a game that where like the cooking mechanic and like the carrying foods and like thinking about like, oh, what foods do I want to have in my bag for what I want to do? It made me think in a different way that I hadn't done before.
You might
with
like
the
Death
game.
Stranding then, Kevin. You play Death Stranding?
Oh, I really like Death Stranding.
There it is.
Fran. I
Same
really like
system.
it.
What do I need to bring with me?
All right. What's up? Okay.
Yeah. It was bound to happen.
Nothing.
I'm sure something else on the list that people will mention. Like
New voicemail. Fuck you.
I'm trying to think of other big.
Told you not to leave a
I
message.
told you.
I'm trying to think of other big titles that we could think of.
Oh,
So
so
I'm gonna-
what do you guys think of Portal 2?
To
throw Portal 2
here's
out
my
there.
problem with the Portal games.
Okay.
I just never really played them
Oh, well,
Because-
that will be a problem in rating
because
them.
I hate puzzle games. I'm
They're so much fun.
Yeah.
I get so frustrated
Portal's
easily,
so cool.
and I don't think outside of the box. And puzzle game, like when people talk about The Witness, when people talk about Portal, those are games that I've seen Let's Plays of, and I enjoy them, and I think they're awesome. But playing them myself, I'm
Yeah.
an idiot.
Witness is way more puzzly than Portal.
What's up?
Portal's a lot, just mostly
Hey, it's
logic.
DJ Kento.
DJ
Hey, DJ
Kendo.
Kendo.
DJ Kanto.
I wanted to say my game of the year, or game of the decade, is undoubtedly Skyrim.
Oh,
Wow.
That is the decade
The
game.
amount
Yeah.
of people still playing Skyrim is unbelievable. Even last year,
Well, they keep releasing it on
we're
shit.
playing.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
When was Skyrim? 2011?
2011. Yeah.
2011.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Kento, what drew you to Skyrim over everything else? Like, what is it about the game that stands above all these other heavy hitters?
I think every other heavy hitter has some inspiration from Skyrim. Like its systems, its mechanics,
Zelda
its
did.
world.
Breath of the Wild did. Yeah.
Yeah, everything I feel like of the past decade falls back to that at some point, or got some inspiration from that. And the fact that like last year, there was a report on GameIndustry.biz where they like checked, and 50,000 players were still playing it at one time on Steam alone. So if you extrapolate that to every other system it was played on or sold to, like it's unbelievable what kind of an impact that had.
That's true.
That's cool.
It's a good
Yeah.
choice,
All right.
yeah.
Great
Thanks.
point.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Kento.
Yeah, it worked.
I will is the
What's that do?
we hung up
I hit
on it?
pause, but
I think you should just got to hit back. That's
Yeah, just hang up and then open
then-
up the line so
yeah.
that no other calls come in.
Or are we taking more or no?
we will in a
There might
bit.
be
Yeah, we
someone
will in a
on
bit.
Hey, just let me know
Okay.
so I can.
It's offline right
Yeah.
now. we're
Yeah,
good.
we'll go in a
Last
bit.
time
Okay.
I did that, there was someone on
Um,
there though. That's why I checked.
I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is one to put on that list where
Yeah.
that game just never stops.
But I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like, and I get what you're saying with the you're talking about like the multiplayer online aspect, right? Grand Theft Auto 5 online.
It also just it sells 5 million copies every fucking
Yeah,
year.
Yeah. But I just want to I feel like San Andreas was like the first one of the for the decade conversation.
It wasn't this decade.
Huh?
San Andreas was not this decade.
Oh
no.
shit! I have no. My bad.
San Andreas is like 2005. right?
Really?
I think.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, never mind. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. All good.
Yeah, there's only 2 Rockstar games this entire decade, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait,
Crazy.
hold on. Let me double check that because I want to
Yeah,
make sure.
no, because Grand Theft Auto 4 was like 2008. It's when I first moved to Austin. 2007 maybe.
I'm looking at Red Dead Redemption 1.
Oh, Red Dead 1 was 2011 or 2010.
Okay, so that would count. So 3 Rockstar games this generation, or not this
Yeah.
decade.
I think Red Dead 1 is absolutely a game that could be put on that list.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely,
I like it a lot more than 2,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I
I-
put so many hours into that game too.
I think the person who enjoys who enjoys technology a lot, as somebody who, I worked in graphics and stuff like that, and somebody who enjoys visual fidelity, I'd probably say enjoy part 2 more, just because I feel
Yeah.
like it's really similar to part 1.
It's a much bigger accomplishment for sure.
For sure, yeah. And, just seeing that gameplay, again, it runs in 4K on Xbox One X, which I think was like such a technical achievement. And it's gorgeous, and the HDR is beautiful, and the environments are awesome, and everything just sort of feels real in that
Right.
game.
If like that game, Red Dead Redemption 2, if it took like 1 or 2 steps back from the realism, like Kevin mentioned, that you're going for, I would enjoy it a lot more.
Sure.
I think if you had all that stuff, but with Red Dead Redemption 1's like systems and mechanics,
Yeah.
I would love it.
Yeah.
It's just that one little, like, just a bit too far for me.
Yeah.
Let me
Red Dead 1 is absolutely on that list. I think I'd assume the first BioShock would be on everybody's lists.
2008.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Then you know what? I'll go Infinite. Because Infinite is a game that when it comes to BioShock 1 and 2, I never played 2. And the first now we're just going to talk about which BioShock is the best BioShock. But the first BioShock is a game that I half experienced with a lot of friends in the room that were talking and just shooting the shit. So I never fully got enveloped in that story. I don't remember anything about that game. And I think there's sort of this Mandela effect with me where I convinced myself that I beat it, but now that I think of it, I don't think I ever beat the first BioShock.
You would remember if you beat it, because that last boss is pretty fucking disappointing.
Okay, yeah. I just don't think... I don't think I beat it.
kindly wait to talk about this till I...
But BioShock Infinite is a game that when I beat it,
Ooh, yeah, I like
I was dating a girl at the time, and I was at her apartment, and she had watched like the first 5 hours to 10 hours of me playing the game, and she kind of got disinterested and walked. But when I beat it, I needed to talk to somebody about it, and I needed to just sort of unwrap my feelings and my emotions and what my brain process was what my mind was going through at the time. And I remember looking up, and I looked up. I think I just Googled BioShock Infinite, and I was looking for essays on it just to kind of, have somebody else there with me to talk to, even though they wouldn't respond. And at the time, Cliff Bleszinski had written an essay on it because he had just beaten it. And he, too, was like, I got to fucking talk about this game because I don't know what to do. And it was so cool seeing somebody else going through the exact same thing, except this is the guy that created Gears of War, and him being like, wow, I need to just type on a computer for about 2 hours and just let everybody know how I feel.
Right.
And I just thought that game was awesome. And it did the same thing for me where I love those big Christopher Nolan twists. And I love those moments of whenever a game can sort of convey the feeling of what is real, what just happened. I love that shit. I'm a sucker for moments like that in movies and in games. And I think BioShock Infinite did that for me.
Yeah, I really like BioShock Infinite. I remember hearing some people being like, "Yeah, I didn't really like it."
That's kind of
really?
me. I'm
Yeah, it never
I like it.
resonated.
I liked it a
really
lot
like
at the
it.
time.
Yeah.
Then as I got through the year, I'm like, there are parts of this. There's a entire middle portion of that game I think could have been entirely excised. Like once you get to the ghost stuff, like this is not great. And then like the stuff with the rebel leader, and it goes a little both
Pacing-wise,
sidesy.
for sure, but overall, though, I still thought it was just such a great experience.
If I think about BioShock Infinite as that beginning with Elizabeth, parts occasionally like gliding across the handrails and all that, and the ending, I really like that game.
Yeah.
But when I start thinking about the parts I don't like, I'm like, this brings it down a bit for me.
Sure, but I do think what gives it a higher grade for me and why I think of it so highly is because I think it's so hard for a video game to end really well.
Yes.
And I think that game just executed it so perfectly for me where, again, it was the top spinning moment at the end of Inception. Like, I know Inception is kind of a movie that it's some people shit on because it's kind of like this faux intellectual movie. For me, I love that top spinning moment. I love whenever movies do that shit, and when that ending happened in BioShock Infinite, I was pretty blown away by it.
Yeah.
It's funny because I beat it, and I'm like, you mentioned the ghost room, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I better go back and play this thing. I really enjoyed it. I only remember there's something with a lighthouse. I don't remember the
That's
end
the thing.
now. I gotta go back.
You tend to remember the best parts of that game.
We'll talk about it off stream.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
I almost
who might
don't
play.
want you. I almost want to just go back and play it.
But yeah,
I'll never have the time.
so 2013, whenever I think about Game of the Year 2013, like I'd put BioShock Infinite over The Last of Us 2, or The Last of Us 1. because I thought they both did awesome stuff story-wise, but I just enjoyed the gameplay of sliding across those handrails, using my different powers to do different things to big enemies, small enemies. I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy that sort of gameplay more than this sort of brutal stealth that Last of Us has.
Yeah. Let me throw out a possibly weird choice. Saints Row the Third.
Never played it.
Never played it.
Neither of you played it? It is, I think, that is where
good things.
that like open world crime game, like that is the pinnacle for me. Like there is so much smart design in that game between like the very inventive mini games, they figured out at some point we're not going to beat GTA. Like we don't have the money, the budget, like whatever.
We have to do our own sort of version of that. You know?
So they made a comedy game with like just a bunch of connected set pieces in an open world, and it worked out far better than you would think it ever should. So like when I think about that game, the moment I think about is you decide you need a penthouse for your crime syndicate. So there's some teenager owns a penthouse up at the top of this building. They're partying right now. Let's just fucking go there and take it over. So you drop in from a helicopter as Power by Kanye West is playing and then go there and just shoot it up. It's like, holy shit, this is like, it's not only well designed, it is extremely well paced in a way that most open world games are not.
What year did that come
Game
out?
of the
2011.
decade.
I would like to think.
I feel like you're just naming great games of the decade.
Yeah, no, that's totally what we're doing.
Well,
Not naturally game of the decade, but it's on that list.
Like in your top, like
It's absolutely in my top 10.
okay, just
Wow,
make it,
okay.
that's what I wanted. I was fishing for.
I want to go back.
Really?
I would
Kinda
love to
shocked by
go
that.
back to those meeting and contract rooms where Kanye is allowing his song to be in a video. Like I want to know how much he knew about the game. Like, did he?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like that's you pay a licensing
Just licensing.
fee.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he asks a few questions, but I'm sure they're short.
There
I
wasn't
don't
e-
think he even sits down in a meeting, right? It's not like that.
There was
I want to imagine he does that.
he comes in and meets
Where
with the
he's like,
Saints Row
well,
development
he's
team.
like, well, what are the combat mechanics? he wants to approve it
wow,
first.
I mean-
how's like the save system?
Were either of you at that E3 where Kanye was there?
No, that was where he showed the game with his mom, right?
No, there was just one where he was just on the floor and
3
he was
years
going
ago.
to meetings. Yeah.
3-ish.
Yeah.
Years ago, something like that.
So I forget what game it was, but I was in a meeting for something, and it's like, "Hey guys, I know we said we're gonna start here. I'm really sorry, but we have a special guest. So once he gets here, we'll start the demo reel. Might have been Last Guardian, I don't know, but then we waited, I think, like 20 minutes, and then somebody comes in." Like whispers into the demoer's ear. The demoer looks more despondent than I've ever seen anyone look.
Oh, no.
Like literally head hanging is like, Kanye's not coming. It's like, okay, cool. We're all 20 minutes late. Just fucking start the demo.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
All right, let's do another.
Yeah, we can take another call.
Let's go for
Yeah,
it.
put the number up.
Go for it.
Try and-
I want to throw out for my game of the decade.
Mhm.
I think that Odyssey, not
Super
Mario,
Mario?
No, no,
Assassin's
not
Creed?
Mario, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh.
Like I did not expect. Like I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed. Oh.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There's the pick. It's
We'll
a
go
good
back
one.
to you, go.
What's up?
Welcome to
I
Gamescast.
didn't understand what was going on for this, but to talk about Game of the Decade, you have to mention Final Fantasy 14 and their huge comeback
Yeah.
from their really shitty launch.
That's
and
fair.
Rainbow Six Siege taking Ubi games from being an Ubi game to being something that people look forward to finally, and how they keep on continuing those games.
This is you, Nano, right?
Yeah, this is me.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Look at you.
Recognize
voice
the voices. Yeah.
Well, he was just here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14. It is. I would argue it's probably the MMORPG right now, like in a genre that is mostly dead. Like it's.
Yeah, I mean, they've revitalized how classes work. They basically changed up how MMOs should be and raised the bar to be at the modern level.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I
I've
could
been wanting
definitely
to play
see
that
it.
forever.
Yeah, I need to get into it. I keep telling myself I will, and then not actually doing it. Maybe once I get bored of Borderlands. All right, awesome. Thanks, Nano.
Thank you.
I love its redemption for sure. You know, when games start off rough, but there's so much promise behind them, and then they find the success that I think when I think of
Yeah,
No
like
Man's
No Man's
Sky,
Sky.
Right.
I love good stories like that. You know, where I think when publishers put faith in developers.
It's fine. It wasn't ring.
When
We're
publishers
good.
put faith in developers to write the ship,
Yeah.
I think that's such a good sort of signal to the rest of the gaming industry.
So you're
Yeah.
behind
It's
Anthem
like-
2.0.
Sure, I probably won't play it, but yeah.
It's like how Nano mentioned, like they out Ubisoft at Ubisoft, and Ubisoft does that kind of thing all the time. Of this game didn't launch well, maybe we can just fix it, and then it becomes like a huge fucking thing.
Yeah, I think the Rainbow Six Siege was kind of the same. You know, it kind of debuted, you know, pretty
Was it-
lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
And
But was
it's-
it broken?
Siege?
It was not like
it was very
well-liked.
like
It wasn't
limited
well
scope.
liked, yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It was
But
just very limited scope.
I just mean that, you know, when publishers don't give up on games and allow their developers to really see the full potential of what
Yeah.
a title could be, I love shit like that, and I
Yeah.
think that's what helps out the industry a lot. Where, you know, bigger publishers need to put more faith in their developers,
Yeah,
and not give up so easily, and understand that it's fucking hard, you know.
Yeah, and like iterating on stuff takes a very long time, and you got to work with the community. And like I've been wanting to throw Destiny out there, you know,
Oh, yeah.
1 and 2, which has influenced a ton of games. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Which
you
one
can
do you
love,
think is the better
love
game?
and hate the ups and downs, but Destiny is a behemoth in terms of what it's done and how it's influenced. And certainly for me, like I've spent now whatever 3,500 hours or 4,000 hours, like a ridiculous amount of. I guess it's probably closer to 3,000. But it's a lot.
That's a
Between
lot.
Destiny 1 and 2. Yeah, I
That's
played Destiny
three times
1.
the most hours I've ever put into a game.
I know. Yeah, I played Destiny 1 like about 2,000 hours, and then now whatever Destiny 2 is. You can go to wastedondestiny.com and find out. It's crazy. But
I would put
anyway.
Maybe Mass Effect 3 on the list, even
3
though
over 2?
Speaking
Yeah,
of
well, 'cause it's on a
sticking with
decade.
stuff.
Oh, that's
like,
true.
You might have to fix up.
mostly just because I love Mass Effect.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Two.
I don't love the way the game ended. Obviously, you've heard why. I don't want to fucking beat a dead horse, right? But I think that game had incredible story moments for me that I still remember. That I still think about a lot.
Would you pick? You would pick 3 over 2 though?
Well,
again,
2 was
that's the second.
2009.
No, really?
2 was 2009. Yeah.
I thought it was 2010.
No,
Okay.
I was.
It was right on the.
The
I had
PS3
January
version
2010,
might have been
but yeah, maybe it was at the. It would make sense. It was the end of 2009.
I believe it was. I might be,
Yeah, it was something like that. I had just moved out
I
of my
saw-
one
yeah.
bedroom. Yeah, I always put my place. I always put my my mind in like, where was I in community college, or had
Yeah, I
started
have to
the
think about
arts?
where was I sitting when I
Yeah.
played
I
that
always
game.
look it up. I don't know. I'm
Oh,
seeing
2010.
Well, I don't
Oh,
know. Wait, yeah, that's what I saw in the first place. But you guys have me tripping now.
Oh
so-
yeah, January. Wait, what?
You sure it didn't get delayed?
January 2010
It is a
sounds right.
2010 game. See,
Yeah.
I told you.
Okay, so yeah,
So
we're-
the question stands: was 3 or 2?
I would pick 2.
I would put
Yeah,
2
yeah.
over 3. Yeah.
2 was just better
Exactly.
written. Like,
Yeah, 2 was better written. 2 had all the.
It's more cohesive across the board.
I still think about those companion missions. I think those are those companion quests are still so important to building good character arcs in video games. You know.
I remember dragging my PC with me on vacation because I could not stop playing Mass Effect 2.
Well,
I was like, this is a terrible idea, but what else am I going to do?
Mass Effect 2 is what made me love the franchise.
Yes.
Because when 1 came out, I thought it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and I gave up on it pretty quickly. But then when Part 2 was about to come out, I said, you know what? I should probably beat Part 1. And I played Part 1, and I fucking loved it. And then I played Part 2. I was like, this is even better.
Yeah.
You know, like
2 just upgrades
it
so
just
much.
it,
about it.
it's sort of
It changed some focus, which I didn't necessarily like, but it's an objectively better game for sure.
yeah. I just think all those story moments were really well done, and I still think about. I say companion. I meant loyalty missions. It just that word just now hit me, but I think about how cool the Jacob's loyalty mission is, where you go to the planet to look for his father, and his father's fucking crazy. You know,
Yeah.
like so Jack's loyalty mission. All that stuff is just so well done, and everybody was so different. You know, and you find your favorites, you find your companions, and you know, for me it was Garrus and Liara, and then it was Garrus and Thane. You know, I just loved Thane's arc. He was so awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to throw out Dark Souls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
which is, I think...
Glad you did.
Changed
Yeah.
video games.
Changed video, like a tiny little studio in Japan that used to just make not garbage, but very like overlooked mediocre games. Basically, like Star
How dare you
Wars is
talk about
copying
Armored
them at
Core
this
that
point.
way.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so influential. It's funny. Like I was going through and I was like, well, I still have to finish Sekiro, but I never took the time to get into Dark Souls after Demon Souls and everything. But I know, Dark Souls 3 and just Dark Souls period is crazy, the influence. So, I mean that's got to be in a lot of people's top 10s.
Even remove it from the influence, like just so parts of that game are so well done in a way that like details that games don't get right all the time. Like every enemy in Dark Souls, if they're there, there's a reason, both gameplay-wise and lore-wise. So if an enemy's in a weird place, there's usually like some internal explanation you make in your head of like, wait, why would this enemy be down here? Then you look around, like, oh, there's a shortcut from this place to this place. So that's probably how the enemy got down here. Like when I was talking about Jedi Fallen Order, like sometimes I feel like there's kind of haphazard placement of enemies. Dark Souls, like From Software, gets it so right in a way that I wish everyone would actually they would put more consideration into their games in placement like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think they would have wanted to. It's funny. That's what I said about Fallen Order. It's absolutely about combat, but it was about exploration and the gaining the power more than meaning the refinement of combat. And Dark Souls and Sekiro is just incredible.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's such a different game, even though the core combat idea is the same. When you apply the refinement and the focus on combat, like that's what Dark Souls and Sekiro and everything's about. Where Fallen Order, you can have fun with all that stuff. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel, that's why sometimes you just see like a group of 12 enemies and you're like, it's a little disorganized, but I'm just going to beat the crap out of them. Where I don't think Dark Souls does that really, right?
You have
exactly. It's very...
Everything has to be very carefully
one-on-one,
considered.
maybe one-on-two, so to speak. Like, you're very calculated fights at all
If
times.
I'm taking on 2 people in Dark Souls, then I'm extremely confident.
Yeah, exactly. So otherwise you got to lure them away. But that's got to be in so many top 10s.
Damn, we were supposed to talk about Game Awards show.
Were we supposed to? Because
kinda-
it wasn't on the show.
we did
I
a
thought it
Games
was a good
Daily.
idea.
You did it on Games Daily?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I just want,
we still
let me say
have-
my piece about Game
Go for
Awards.
it.
Let me say my piece about Game Awards.
Because we still have a show before,
Yeah.
it'll be up.
Sure, yeah.
Next-
well, I just don't
next
know
week's
what
show.
I'll be doing.
Yeah. That's very
We might be doing that
Everybody
live,
wants
who
to know
knows?
what the number one games journalist thinks about the Game Awards, guys. Everybody you put that out on IGN and all those websites, Kevin, okay? I think if Apex Legends released last month, it would absolutely be on the Game Awards list. I think Apex Legends changed the way first-person shooters are looked at and influenced and will influence a lot of future first-person shooter games. I think it changed the genre. I think it's the best feeling first-person shooter I've played.
Oh, it feels awesome.
The pinging system, the contextual pinging of items and enemies and places. I think, again, when I'm playing Overwatch, I'm just like, fuck, I wish I could ping where an enemy is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That always sort of comes back to me. I think it's recency bias. I think it came out in February, and it had enough trouble. It had enough time passed to where the game could hit a down moment.
Yeah, games and service kind of suffer from that because like it's either what have you done for me lately, or I remember having negative feelings at some point about this.
Yes. And I think had the game, again, come out last month, it would still be riding a high. And we would still be talking about how, oh my God, EA and Respawn released a free-to-play Battle Royale, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Holy shit, how is this possible? This is crazy. We'd still be on this high. Because when it came out, everybody was talking about it, and everybody was playing it. And it was the number one thing on Twitch. But again, it came out in February or whatever, and it had enough time to hit those valleys, right?
Yeah.
Those valleys of the controversy with the developers. It had enough time to hit the controversy or
Loot boxes.
The loot
Yeah.
boxes. Where's the content? They haven't given us anything new. With Fortnite being always on a high and Fortnite always, again, overworking workers, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of crunch there. But to consumers, they see, holy shit, there's always a new thing every several weeks. And Apex hit that valley. But if the game came out recently, we wouldn't be talking about any of that because it'd be brand new and cool to us.
I think they did a phenomenal job with Apex. I would challenge that a little bit, though, in that I'd love to know what you think it did for first-person shooters. I mean, it's great. It feels great. But beyond the pinging system, I think
the
what did it do
running
for-
I think the running and sliding is something that every game should have.
Yeah.
I think when I think back of other console battle royale games, that is still the best one in my opinion. where PUBG came out, and it was on Xbox for a while, and I thought it felt like garbage, and then it felt really, really bad. This was the first-person battle royale experience that wasn't Fortnite that came out on a console where everybody said, "Holy shit! Oh, this is what everybody's all jacked up about."
Yeah.
You know,
And I agree. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But you talked about like the genre as a whole, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's used all of the tricks that. I mean, that's a company that's been making Call of Duty and modern.
I think I think movement-wise,
it brought it all together so nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The mobility is amazing in that game.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like you're wrong about that. I was just saying that like I would challenge the idea that it would belong on Game of the Year had it just launched. And I say that because it was like one map, limited, things to choose from, free to play. Great start, feels amazing. But I don't think it's a recency thing. I think if you look at the panel and what they chose for Game of the Year, because Fortnite wouldn't be on here either. I don't think had Fortnite just hit its stride 2 months ago. Using the same example, I don't think they would have put Fortnite on Game of the Year either.
Really?
I'm only saying that only because like if you look at the panel of games, like it's so towards like what we see in God of War of this like breadth of story and gameplay design that's fresh and
I'd replace Smash Bros with Apex Legends. 1,000%.
Oh, what's funny?
Like-
Smash Bros. Being on here, fair enough. I don't know why that one made it versus everything else. No, although I love Smash
Because they put it in the email for nominations.
But yeah, like
They're like, by the way, Smash Brothers is
What-
eligible this year.
And that was
which
what-
reminded people that Smash Brothers is out and
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting it like where the panel looks at stuff. Yeah, like normally you see them lean into stuff like just Sekiro, Resident Evil, Control. Death Stranding,
So to me, this Apex Legends of this year was the Overwatch of 3 years ago, or 2 or whatever it was, where it was the multiplayer game that sort of showed people that people still play a lot of the casual fan can still be really, really into an online shooter, and also it's free, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's the Overwatch of several years ago that everybody played, and I thought it caught the games industry kind of by storm.
Yeah,
for that really short moment, but still it was really important.
Yeah, it is the best free-to-play shooter launch I've ever seen. Meaning it was so smooth, despite minor things here and there. But I was like, I couldn't believe it was free.
Yeah.
It definitely had that appeal to me.
But again,
I love Apex Legends. It's
Again,
awesome.
I think it's just the first thing when it comes out and we say, "Holy shit, EA allowed this." It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
Fortnite was best ongoing game last year. Was not Game of the Year. So you're right.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Well, because Fortnite was the similar thing to when Fortnite launched. It wasn't the big hit until the following year. I remember those discussions of like, does it
No,
get
but
Game of
last
the
year it would have been. Last year would have been the time it already started getting huge.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was already getting very big at the end.
But it
of,
was out before that.
20.
It was out the
17.
It came out summer 2017. Then Battle Royale came that end of that
September.
year.
So the game came out. What was it? April or May or
Ju-
Fortnite in general.
Fortnite Save the World came out July. July.
Yeah, maybe it was
July 2017.
Okay,
I remember
yeah.
'cause I was
Yeah,
at the
you're
Game
right, it
Informer
was.
office.
And then in September is when Fortnite Battle Royale came out. But
Yeah.
it was ticking already a lot by the end of 2017. But 2018 is when it just blew up. And then March of 2018 is the Drake moment with Ninja. And like that's when it was really hitting its like insane heights. But
I also think Outer Wilds should be on the Game of the Year list.
Yes.
Because
It's
to
on
me,
Best Direction, but not Best Game, which is a weird.
Yeah, I think that it should have been the Celeste of this year, because I feel like every year you got to have at least one indie on Game of the Year just to kind of cover everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think Outer Wilds should have been that game where it's my Game of the Year. No other game has made me feel the way that game has made me feel.
I think they had bad luck with both of the Outer Worlds thing.
Sure.
But also, I think it came out at a bad time.
yeah, I was gonna say
So, like,
that one. I think more so from the recency side of stuff. Like it was summer actually.
Yeah,
so
I want
not
to say it
that
was
long
around
ago.
E3. So,
But
like, when you get a bunch of people who have to be at E3 to do the nominations,
Yeah.
it's just harder to get, like, those games as part of the conversation.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It's we always speculate the whys. Like, who knows why? Ultimately, it's because of the panel. The panel just has its tastes, and that's what made it. But meaning, Resident Evil 2 was like back in February something, right? I mean, that made
January.
it. So it's not a recency thing.
But that's
necessarily,
also Resident Evil to me.
So, like
you
that
know,
stands
like-
out so easily. But actually, I kind of wonder, to Imran's point, had Outer Wilds released earlier and given people more time to play it, maybe it would have ended up on the list. Like, inverse to
You never know.
it
Sometimes,
releasing
like-
right now because there's just too much going on. And what I'm getting at is people are playing like, Fallen Order and all these other games, Outer Worlds and, Outer Wilds they may not have gotten to.
I was extremely happy to just see the internet be as positive as I was when I beat it, and seeing Danny O'Dwyer and Mike Mahardy and just other people from GameSpot or IGN tweeting out about, holy shit, you all need to play this game because again, I just think
I saw Schreier say it was his game of the year.
it's such a weird, unique thing. A lot of people have complained about. I don't want to say complain. It sounds like whining or whatever. A lot of people have had issues with like controlling of the spaceship. I didn't have any issues, but again, I'm really good at games.
Takes a while.
Super good at games.
All right, how about we take one more phone call?
Let's do one more phone call. Locked and loaded, baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
You like that, right?
It's really good. Yeah. I'm a fan.
Oh, I did that. You like that. It's just so perfect.
All right, we got another call coming through. Perhaps we'll see.
Maybe everyone's giving up.
Yeah, I
on
mean,
us.
Outer Wilds reviewed really well though. So
Yeah, it did. I'm gonna play it before we do our game of the year stuff for sure.
Oh my god, I can't like. It's a game that I had to look online for a decent amount of help because it's very puzzly and my brain doesn't work that way. But holy shit, man, those moments, it's like watching Interstellar in a goddamn IMAX. You know what I mean? Like those moments of grandiose holy shit.
Oh, totally.
What's up?
You guys
Hey,
think-
this is Andrew in Marietta, Georgia.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey guys, how's it going?
You're on Kind of Funny Gamescast live with
What can we,
Imran,
what
Fran,
can we
and
do for
Andy.
you?
Hey, so I've been we've talked about the games of the past decade. I kind of wanted to go in a different direction. We have 4 or 5 major first-party PlayStation games that we know about that are coming, being Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Spider-Man 2, God of War 2. When do you guys think those are coming? What's like, if you could say this is coming in fall 2020, 2021, what do you think the order of those coming out in? And going forward, what are you looking most forward to?
Great question.
Yeah, I would guess personally. I'm gonna hang up on you. No problem. Or
Thank you.
Yeah,
nothing
listen-
personal.
I'm
Listen
listening to
live.
you guys
Thank
on
you.
my phone and also calling on my phone, so I'm gonna hop back over.
All right,
All
sounds
right.
good.
I think I have like this sort of conspiracy theory about Ghost of Tsushima that they may have. This is just total speculation, but I think that game may have undergone kind of a rethinking on what it is. And I wonder if it would have come out sooner, but then they said, you know what, maybe this should be a Soulsborne game, or vice versa. Maybe it was, and they wanted to change the sort of vibe of it.
Because they've been working on it since Second Son Wrapped, which was 2014.
Yeah, I feel that sounds about right.
So they've had a long time to be on it, and they've only showed it at E3 last year. Was the only time we've actually seen it. So whatever they're working on has either undergone some monumental changes, or they intend to fill it with a bunch of shit.
Or
Can't
may-
go far right now. Ask him.
Or maybe I think, it got to a point where they said, should we, do we up the tech on this because it will be a PS5 release? You know what I mean? Like, I want to think that initially it was intended to be a PS4 thing.
They've reiterated PS4 again recently, so
Okay.
I'd assume it's still like aiming for that. I'm sure there'll be a PS5 version for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's a full iteration. I think that Sony's just been spending time on these big games that are first party. Like, meaning they've learned the lesson to not rush it out, but they also have pretty big catalogs. So meaning like what, last year you had Spider-Man, amongst many other things, and it was like, we don't really need Ghost of Tsushima then.
I mean, that's-
meaning
that's-
you didn't need it.
That's
And
supposedly why it's not coming.
you don't
out
really
anytime
need it
soon.
next year. And this year they have Death
Well-
Stranding, and like, so to speak. I mean, you always want.
From a Schreier report, I think it was supposed to come out around summer of next year, but with Last of Us being pushed back,
Yeah.
it's pushing Ghost of Tsushima back as well because you can't put both
Sure.
those games at the same time.
Yep. But that's
So-
for next year.
Yeah.
Right? So meaning to me, it's in other words, I don't know that they did full iteration changes so much as like they've just been spending their time, I think, to get it right. And I mean, I'm sure God of War went through the same thing. Like
God of War, I
don't
think,
recall
like-
hearing when
No,
it was
they did.
supposed. Yeah, there you go.
Yoshido like played it. He's like, this game is bad.
Whoops.
So they like basically rejiggered it until it worked.
Yeah, like me, I feel like they're
I
just
love how you're
giving,
checking every time.
No, I accidentally hung up on it or called 911. I wanted to make sure I just didn't do that. But just maybe I'm just playing contrarian, but I feel like if you look at the catalog of their really good games, they're taking definitely 3 to 5 years. So it's not that
that's
unusual.
Ghost of Tsushima. Horizon Zero Dawn, I think, might be a launch title.
We're all hoping for that, right? Because we don't really know anything about it.
Do they call it Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Horizon 2, Horizon other subtitle?
Forza Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Forza Horizon Zero
It'll
Dawn.
blow
where you
your
just-
minds. Horizon
Dawn.
Zero Dusk.
Wow.
Actually,
Wow.
You see what I did
Holy
there?
shit.
You like that, don't you?
I love that.
wait, Horizon Outer Woods.
Yeah.
Outer Woods.
The Outer Horizons.
Um,
So you think that's a winter?
I think that's probably what they're aiming
2020
for.
Skylines.
Because what is a better game to show off the PS5 than like a new
The
Horizon
Decima
game?
2.0.
Decima 2.0,
Yeah.
all that jazz.
For sure.
Man, I just think that's super soon.
It is.
Like,
It's a year from now, so
for a game of how.
Well, wouldn't that have been 3 years though?
2017 to
Yeah, it would be
2020.
3 years.
Yeah.
and
like-
it actually adds up. But that would
that game came out
I'd
a
be
month.
shocked if it happened. But
It came out a
awesome.
month before Breath of the Wild. We've already seen Breath of the Wild 2 as an existing product,
Sure.
so I would not be shocked to see
But
Zero
Bre-
Dawn at the same time.
But Breath of the Wild 2 is
based on the same stuff, yeah.
yeah. That's my only caveat with that. Where when I think was Breath of the Wild 2 a question from? Oh no, he was only
No,
asking
yeah.
about Sony first parties. Yeah. When I think Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is maybe like early 2021.
See, it's so close.
Like
for a
the
launch, though,
infamous kind of place.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I
Well,
can
where
see it.
Horizon Zero Dawn launched, like it launched in February, didn't it?
It launched in February, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I remember, Infamous was supposed to be not a launch title but launch window, and it was 3 months after the PS4 came out. I believe 3 months. You're wrong, Kadomi.
I'm so thankful that I went back to beat Horizon Zero Dawn. That's a
I
game
need
that
to do that.
I still have
I put
to,
5
know.
hours into.
That's exactly
and
what I
then
did.
immediately jumped into Zelda and got lost in that for months. I don't know. I don't even know if I ever got out of that.
That was
still
that was my
playing.
problem.
My brain is still in there.
Is I started playing that game, then Zelda came out, then Nier, then Yakuza 0, and like they all came out around that time, basically.
Going back to Horizon was, I think, one of the best decisions I've ever made. Where
Okay.
early on, I felt kind of bored with Aloy and
That was
whatever
my
was
thing,
going
too.
on. But I think the story gets really, really good towards the latter half, along with the combat being great. I didn't love the combat at first, but walking and seeing a giant robot dinosaur, it's like, oh, I know how to take these out now, and I have my strategy of how to do it. I thought it was a really, really damn good game.
Yeah, I need to. I'm not necessarily feeling the combat in the game. I guess one of my worries is going back to that game. It's been
Oh, you'll
2
be
years.
lost as
Yeah.
well.
Be lost
You
and
might wanna
also
start over, yeah.
not remember how the combat and stuff
You'll be
works at all.
I always do that too, but it'll take you 30 minutes, but you'll be fine.
I
Okay.
went back to Outer Worlds after
You hated it first.
stopping playing Outer Worlds because of Death Stranding, and now I'm like, fuck, I'm lost in Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't remember really anything.
I really love that thing in Jedi Fallen Order that tells you like every aspect of the game from story to controls to
Yeah.
whatever is extremely easy to find as soon as you boot that game up.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
All right.
But
That's gonna
yeah,
do it
so
for
we don't.
us.
Yeah.
I think we only picked one of those, like when they're coming out, right? But
What was the
Oh,
fourth
wait.
one?
God of War 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2, I think, probably not coming at launch. I think it's a Christmas 2021 title.
Okay. God of War 2, I would say.
I don't know if
20
it's that soon, man.
I assume Insomniac started working on that thing immediately.
Yeah, but wait, when did Spider-Man come out? It came out
Last year.
Last year.
Yeah, no, I just feel like no.
It was early last
'Cause
year.
keep in mind, it was August-ish, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say late
Oh, that's right.
2022 makes sense. Three full years for that,
I think
especially with that.
with as hard as Sony has been showing off Spider-Man 1 on PS5 and being like, this is how we're going to prove or how different this game is. I think a Spider-Man 2, I know too much about this, so I can't speculate too much.
Okay.
I think a Spider-Man 2 will probably will come sooner than we think.
Okay. All right. Well, it's hard to counter that.
Get me
kind
real
of
horny
comment.
right here, Imran.
That was really cool, dude. That was really cool.
I think that even
I can
though
confirm it feels great to play as an
with
F1 game
those
journalist.
goals, though, Sony wants to get stuff right, and with the new platform, I wouldn't be surprised to see it in 2022. But
Yeah, I
just guessing.
God
that
of War, I
things
think, is a
happen in other words.
2022 game.
You love to see it.
You love to see it. Yeah.
God of
God of
War-
War was 2018.
Yes, also last year.
April.
I think
Yeah.
that's 2022.
I think that game just takes longer.
I was gonna guess that one. Well, let's see. It would be over 3 years at the end of 2022. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would guess. Holiday 2022 for the next God of War.
Yeah.
Give him like tons of time on a whole new platform.
I'd say
and-
fall
And
2022.
even that is like a very hard push. But what about Days Gone 2? We didn't talk about that one. So.
Save that for
I
another-
actually want to see more from that
Save
world.
that for
but
another time.
That wasn't on the list.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all the games he mentioned.
Ghost
so-
of Tsushima, we already guessed that on a previous Gamescast, though. I think we thought it might be close to the PS5 launch and maybe
I'm
cross-platform.
still thinking late summer, maybe. Because, like, keep in mind, Last of Us 1 released, like, maybe 5 months before the PS4 came out.
Yeah, I think it was. It was like a
Like,
June or something,
Yeah.
right?
So, like, they're not afraid to, like, put something right up against it, especially if they're...
Actually, no, I know it was in June because I put up an anniversary piece.
And it was E3 as well.
And it was actually like June 12th.
Yeah, it was
I
like
almost know
E3
off the
week.
top of my head.
Because I remember, like,
So-
wanting to go home and play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This is going to do it for your Gamescast, the first ever 249th episode. Sorry for everything.
That's right. Is there any cleanup at the end of the episode, Kevin, that we need to...
Well, there's a post show.
There's a post
Yeah,
show,
we-
baby.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap it up here. We'll be back with a regular host next week. Yeah, next week.
Maybe.
For now, enjoy your, presumably with regular host. If not, then we'll at least get better. We'll be better
Wait.
prepared for it.
Where can they find everybody? How about that? Imran?
Yeah. Let's do that. Hold on. You fill the void
We
for a
filled
second.
it. Andy, where can I find all of your awesome content, not only on Kind of Funny, but...
I am Maximum Cortez on all my social platforms, and on Twitch, I am Andy Cortez.
Oh.
My real name.
Oh.
Well, not my real
Not
name. but-
maximum.
Max is your real name? I never knew.
No, I was gonna say
How are you
That's a good one. Andres is my real
You like
name.
What about you, Fran?
Kevin,
Oh,
were you going to
Kevin.
say something?
No, I was about to say, what about you, Fran?
Oh.
Great.
Do it.
Nobody's left around.
what are you doing
me.
for
They already
Friendsgiving?
left the show. Anyway, you can find me also on Twitch. It's a great way to support me, FM3_.
Mm-hmm.
Drop by there. And also, I remind people about that Epic store is a great way if you're picking up PC games on the Epic store. I'm Fran Mirabella on there. Yeah,
In case you want that Shenmue 3.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you're Andy Cortez, right?
Maximum Cortez.
You're Maximum Cortez on Epic Store.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the same problem I do. Fran Mirabella and Maximum Cortez on the Epic Store. Support us there as well.
You can find me at twitch.tv/ImranZOMG. Yeah. And I've got pretty much no other presence besides that and Twitter, which is the exact same name.
Love it.
All right. Let's wrap it up then.
And Kevin Coelho's kind of funny. Kevin, go follow him too.
Yeah. Go find it.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
All right. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Boy.
I love you.
Time for the
That's what
post show.
Tim says.
And now we're the post show.
So if I
Oh,
hang up
yeah.
the phone, Kev?
I mean,
Bad
someone
idea.
might want to call, but I could also disconnect the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, can't I just turn the phone off?
No.
I've been talking for, at this point, 3 hours? 3.5 hours?
We're so proud.
We
of you.
have indeed.
Yeah.
I love it.
You want me to disconnect the phone, or do you?
Go.
want
No,
me
I don't
to-
care. I'll just leave it. If
'Cause
you don't
hang,
care,
you
then
hang
it's
up right now. You can have someone.
Do we want to do
call
some
Let's
in.
not
post-show
worry about the
calls?
phone.
Yeah, post show calls. I think. That's
Yeah,
fun.
well, why the fuck not?
Yeah, sure.
There it is.
You guys want a
Numbers
post-show
going
call?
up. Numbers
Let's
going up.
burn
While
this.
you all are doing
Burn it
that,
up.
I'm going to go eat food before the
and do some
podcast in
work?
30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You should 100%.
That's a
do
smart
that.
call.
Yeah, yeah.
Good having you, Andy, as always.
Yeah, great show, guys.
Locked and loaded, baby. He almost dropped his cup just to do that. I love it. What is our post show going to be about?
I don't know. We'll take some calls. Yeah.
And right on cue.
What's up? You're on with Imran and Fran. Imran.
Wow, I can't believe this actually worked as kebabs again, and I rang before you said, let's take calls.
Smart,
Hang
anticipating.
on,
Cheeky.
He doesn't get 2 calls.
Cheeky little monkey.
No, we'll let him go. We'll let him get in.
All right, kebabs.
What's up, kebabs?
I don't know. How are you guys?
God,
Doing all right?
Don't give me the I don't know how. We're
Have
well.
a
To be fair,
plan.
that's a question, but you got anything better than that?
No, nothing.
Kebabs.
Come on,
No, like,
kebabs. I didn't know you were British.
I'm a total klutz, can't you tell?
I didn't know you were British. This is surprising to me.
I'm
thought he was
from
Australian.
New Zealand, actually.
Oh,
I'm
New
actually
Zealand, yeah, yeah.
on holiday in
Okay,
America.
I massively just insulted you,
My girlfriend.
but I'm okay with it.
It's okay. It's the phone quality line.
Yeah.
I mean, I can switch to a British accent if you want.
No, it's all right.
We wouldn't notice the difference.
Kebabs, it's like what time over there right now?
No, he's in Florida. Remember?
Oh, you're in
Yeah.
Florida right now?
He's got
Philadelphia.
Sorry, misheard.
Philly. All right. What'd you have for lunch?
Hang up the phone. Have someone else come
Bag
in.
of barbecue chips. It was really tasty.
Okay, it wasn't a Philly cheesesteak, so I'm going to hang up the phone. Bye, kebabs.
Okay.
Imran's got very strict rules.
If you're in
You're gonna
Philly,
get
eat a
hung
fucking
up.
cheesesteak.
Every day?
It's a great call.
Yes.
Yeah.
No way,
Yeah.
man.
They're great.
Yes.
They
Ever
are
had
great.
one?
Yes, I have. I went to a wedding in Philly. It was great.
Let's go on a road trip to Philly and get a cheesesteak.
That does sound good. I'm starving.
I want to get the cheesecake or the
What?
actual cheesecake cake thing
Yeah.
from that place next door.
What do you like on a cheesesteak? Pretty much just like I like mushrooms. So
yeah,
I can get some
mushrooms,
on there.
onions, green peppers.
Yeah.
I will not cotton
Ooh,
tomatoes in my cheesesteak.
Yeah, and then I always like the hots. Anything like
Yeah,
with
the
spicy
hots.
pepper, you gotta have the hots.
What in?
Are we taking more calls or?
Yeah, let's take another call.
Cool.
I don't know. He's just staring at the phone. I don't know, Kebabs. You didn't have one today, so that's it. No more calls from you.
Prank call Greg or Nick.
They're like, when are they coming back? Do you know, Kevin?
Thanksgiving.
No. I
Yeah,
think
Greg's in Paris, probably having a lovely meal with his wife right now. So
Howdy, you're on with Imran and Fran.
Howdy.
Holy shit, it works!
yeah,
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Jordan in Wichita doing Uber right now.
Cool.
yeah.
I have to say, yeah, I make my customers listen to you guys all the time.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
No, don't do that.
Do you have
Oh.
customers? You're gonna get fired.
Yeah.
Do you have someone in the car right now?
No, there's no one in the car right now.
Damn.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
good. Scared me.
Nah. I'm
Okay.
not that unprofessional.
Okay, good.
However,
No, I mean, I was
sometimes,
hoping you were. I was
funny
hoping we could,
podcasts
like,
have got me in trouble a couple of times.
All right.
How
What's up?
how
My rage.
how do your customers react to kind of funny content?
Some love it. I saw a kind of funny best friend one time.
Oh,
They
cool.
recognized you guys.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I once went to a kind of funny
I think I
meetup where
might
people
have
didn't recognize
converted
me.
At least 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, going back to the whole conversation of
The
game of the decade,
controversy.
Man, that is like a broad topic because like the popular answer is like Fortnite, right?
Is
But
For which?
Game of the decade.
What?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
It was on Polygon's list as like top 10.
Sure, but I mean, you said that was like the obvious answer, and I was like, well,
He
I
said
don't know.
popular answer. He didn't say obvious necessarily.
Is it popular?
It was on
Yeah,
Polygon's
It's
list.
pretty popular.
It's a list of 100 games. Anyway, sorry, Jordan.
It's in top 10. That's what I'm saying.
That they.
But as
Anyway.
someone who's been gaming all my life, I think I really love Undertale because
Oh, shit.
you got in the head of the gamer, and you do that thing where you're like, I want to do a completely non-pacifist run, but I can't figure out how to beat this boss. So you go back, and then like Flowey's like, I know what you did, and that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Nice.
That game.
I didn't play Undertale.
It hides whether or not you've killed enemies on a save, like a save file that you cannot in any way access or delete. It is tied to your like Steam or whatever account. So even if you do try a genocide run and back off from it and like start fresh, the game knows that you at one point attempted to genocide everybody.
I'll have to play that. How long is the game?
I would say 6-7 hours. Honestly, it's not super long. I did the pacifist run in my first run, which is I think the best way to do it.
Yeah, I saw that on some lists.
Mm-hmm.
Like Limbo was
do that
on mine
quick.
as well. Huh?
You can do that quick.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it on stream.
Speedrun.
The Undertale community very sane.
Yeah. I think I should finish Sekiro first.
All right, Uber guy, I'm gonna hang up on you.
Bye,
All
Jordan.
right, have an awesome day, guys.
You too,
Later, Jordan.
See ya.
Stop using his name like you're fucking. Like,
I'm just
throwing it in
being
everyone's
polite.
face.
All right, that's
okay?
gonna be our last
He's
phone
an
call.
Uber guy to me too. Last phone call, no more.
Uber
Yeah,
guy.
we're done
Okay,
with phone calls.
great, excellent. I hope you guys all enjoyed that.
All right,
Starving. So hungry.
let's talk about food, Fran.
I didn't play it for this. I thought we were recording it too. That's
Do you
okay.
do you cook a
didn't
Thanksgiving
plan-
turkey?
No.
Have you ever cooked a Thanksgiving turkey?
Nope.
I have.
I
for the
would.
last several years.
How is it? How's your turkey?
I mean, I've been told my turkey's good.
Uh huh.
3 years ago, I had Greg Miller over. He seemed to enjoy it. But that year, for
People are
whatever
polite.
reason, no, it's a good turkey. Don't be rude.
Well,
Don't be
yeah,
rude.
I mean,
Stop being rude.
would you go to
All right,
someone's
your
house
mic's
and be
back.
like, no, I don't know, man.
I silenced his mic. Good. No one wants to hear his opinion. That's great.
Belinda Garcia has stated on Twitter she hates turkey.
What?
She does.
But here's the thing. She goes to Disneyland all the time. There's no way she doesn't love the turkey leg at Disneyland. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's good
I
stuff.
also think she's either a liar or she's never had good turkey.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would love to cook one, but you know me, Kev, right? Like, if I did
Yeah,
it
it
would
would
be like
take-
weeks-long
Yeah.
production.
But I mean, to be
And-
fair, a turkey usually takes 3 days to cook if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You got to
you
brine
gotta
it.
brine it,
dry-
you got
you
to
season
play
it.
songs to it, massage, sensual massage.
Do you know what a sensual massage is?
You mean
You're
a
having sex
sensual
with the
massage?
You're not necessarily having sex with it, but at least
It's
giving it a
Austin
hand job.
Powers. Come on, wow.
I'm just saying.
You know, I mean, you do gotta. Never mind.
So I see
You gotta
Stuff
get in
it.
there.
Yeah, you gotta stuff it.
I never do stuffing inside.
Give it the
turkey.
rocker.
we never have either.
Yeah, stuffing on the side.
Yeah, always.
Yes, stuffing on the side. Okay.
I honestly.
Oh my God,
I
DJ
see-
Kento. Sorry, DJ Kento just saying that the turkey leg at Disney is a waste of time.
You're a waste of time.
Exactly.
The appropriate response. By the way, there was a response like that in God, what game was I just playing? It's a trailer or something. Oh no, sorry, it's in Mandalorian. There's that one line where it's just like that, where it's like, I don't want to spoil the episode,
No, because I haven't seen it yet.
but they basically just respond and they're like, "You watch yourself." But it's like a totally like gym teacher response, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Really?" It's like it's kind of funny, but
You know what?
it is a little strange.
Having
Kevin, you
not-
know what I'm talking about?
What?
Where in Mandalorian, I don't want to spoil the moment, but they're like, whatever, delivering something, and I think it's the stormtroopers, and he's like, "Watch yourself." They're like, "You watch yourself."
No, I don't remember.
It's
that.
this one line. I'm like, what?
Is
Why?
it in episode 3?
Is that all they thought of? Yeah.
That's the one episode I have not rewatched yet.
Okay.
I will say, having only seen the first 2 episodes of Mandalorian, that show is really paced like a video game.
Yeah.
Like you get the there's the quest, get the quest, then fight at the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's like each episode, or the first episode, is exactly like that. It's like, okay,
Does it continue
Just
like
Old
that?
West,
it might.
man.
It might.
huh? I would not be shocked, but I think I would not be shocked if they saw that as saw video game pacing as an inspiration for that game or that show.
That's fair. It
do-
just means we need a Mandalorian video game.
Absolutely. I'm all in.
It'll be like Death Stranding. You deliver packages.
Really quick, I wanted to address something Ignacio is saying here about using the WhatsApp.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really? Ignacio?
Yeah.
You sure?
But here's the thing. Can you get a calling card? Can you just use a calling card and try with that? I understand it would be difficult, but it would be more difficult for us to route everything through our system. This is an easy solution that we have duct tape.
Seems
Yeah.
like it's fine.
Yeah.
Wait,
Also-
It works good. Well, it doesn't work great for international calls, it seems.
It's important to note
Voice
we are not
quality.
trying that hard.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, we're trying. Some of us are trying pretty hard
Kevin is trying hard.
on the technical end.
For me, this is like,
Is
this
it
would be a dumb thing to do.
I didn't see it. Is it a 1-800 number, Kevin? Or like...
No. This is the actual number for the studio.
Oh, so
Yeah.
people have to like call like a actual. I see.
Yeah. We just put the I will disconnect the line.
Yeah.
When we're done with this.
It's funny. I'm so used to it. I would just use like Discord voice and tell them to like hop in a room and drag them in or something.
People
but-
should have to try.
Yeah, I agree with
That is my
I-
thing. Like, you shouldn't be able to do this easily. You have to try to get in.
Although I do know there's something called, it's not Warp Pipe, but it's a name like that, and it's like it's a web app type thing. You can assign a number to it, but they can call from computers or whatever.
Well, Google Voice also. Well, actually, I don't know if you.
But now there's one like that you can use a real number as
But
well as. Yeah.
all of that more complicated than just putting tape on a phone. You know what I mean?
Okay,
On
what-
a phone line, we
Yeah.
already had.
What if we
But then
do
I have
Google
to call a
Voice,
real
but we
number.
only do voicemails? Not actually call in.
That's not a terrible idea. I
Hey.
don't hate that idea.
By the way, next time I'll be happier if somebody calls in, but uses like the scary movie voice modulator?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Do that next time.
Yeah, well, we need
Or-
more
But
threats
ask
on
like
the phone.
no threats. Ask
So
like
again,
a totally normal question.
Ignacio
It's like,
in
"Oh,
the
what's
chat
your,
being like, "Oh, they do WhatsApp as a browser app." I know, but then I have to have another speaker on the thing, and I have to have a line that splits the audio from
Yeah, it's too
Yeah.
much.
It's
man.
just a lot of steps where this is just
This is literally the microphone attached to the phone.
yeah, it's just taped on there, and it works. I'm sorry that I don't know how international calling works. I've only ever done it to what do you know how if you're in
It's not
Chile? If you're in Chile, how does it work to call the United
the
States?
same way it works everywhere else.
So
You
it
just
just
have to
costs
dial
money?
a few numbers beforehand, but that part is complicated.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just the one. It's just
Yeah.
right. You just it's,
To be fair, like they can figure it out. Yeah, they
No,
can
I
dial
know.
it, but it's expensive.
I
is
know.
The point.
I know it's expensive.
That's the
but I
problem.
guess we're not worth it.
Yeah, we're not worth. Yeah, we don't want to spend like $5 on like whatever.
Also, can you make a Google Voice phone number online and then use that phone number to call us? Look into it, Ignacio, because I feel like that might be a solution for you, right? Because if he makes a Google Voice number with a U.S. thing and then uses the Google Voice app to call us, then I think everything might be fixed.
Also, chances are high that even if you do all that stuff and try to call in, you're not going to get
yeah,
through.
that's the other thing.
I like this actually. It's got a lot of character.
I love this, like,
It's a lot of
yeah,
character.
a lot of characters where I go with that. It is a good solution for
It
this
looks
thing.
like a homemade bomb. Good job, everybody.
Well, I don't know about that.
It definitely
that escalated
does.
fast.
All right, well, look, there you go. Ignacio in the chat just being like, you guys aren't worth it. Like, international calls are expensive. You're not worth it. Great.
Look, that's what my mom
Then
says
you've
too.
made the choice.
Okay,
That's what my
Ignacio.
mom says. Oh, poor Imran.
Yeah.
So rude.
All right.
After I was really mean to him earlier.
Let's wrap this up.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for showing up for this Gamescast.
Yeah.
This Gamescast post show. We had no idea what we're doing. We still don't know. That's the way we like it.
Exactly. Have a great holiday, I guess. if
Have a
it's
great holiday.
Thanksgiving for you. If not, still have a great week.
Yeah, there's still Games Daily tomorrow, and after that, we're off. So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.